that because I hadn't given you permission to have audio yet. Fucking yes. You want to behave before I give you a voice?
Are you sure you want to?
I'm only hurting Kat's feelings today.
Oh no, he's hurt my feelings multiple times today already. I'm just hiding it better.
Yep.
It's
You're
fine.
not.
Wow. On that note, you can talk now.
I changed topics. So, hello everyone. I'm Sway. This is Blood in the Bayou over here on Rep RPG, where we're smashing dreams left and right based off opinions. So, the eyebrows work for everybody. So, Pixie, will you tell us about Rep RPG?
No, I will not.
So, Rep RPG is a channel here on Twitch that you're currently watching or listening to, where we have multiple D&D, TTRPGs playing throughout the week, such as Disasters and Dangers on multiple, or what is it, Wednesday? I always think it's Tuesday.
Shifting to Monday.
Back to
next
Monday.
Week.
Where it used to be.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is if you like tabletop RPGs and D&D and other role-playing games such as Elden Ring, Borderlands, and other types of goodness, just to hit the nota button.
Yeah.
Hit the little notey bell there. Most of you guys already know exactly what we do here every week here on Blood in the Bayou, and it's smashing dreams of other types. So while you recuperate from the other great storytelling of Cody Stone, the GM, for most of the week on Call of Cthulhu and Disasters and Dangers on Friday, you get me for a little bloody fun of Blood in the Bayou, our Vampire the Masquerade 5e campaign, full of kindred, also known as vampires, to all of you kind at home. And Matthew, who keeps the lights on and makes the shows run?
I think you might be talking about our friends over at The Critical Dice. Again, that is The Critical Dice, your one-stop shop for all things dice and some other dice adjacent stuff like pins, like these really cute pins. Oh, that light is so bright. Hold on. Oh, you can kind of see it. I don't know. It looks like it's a little Reaper, and we were gifted it for this show. We were also gifted some other cool things like dice like these. And you can go to the link in the chat over to thecriticaldice.com and use that link, and you will get 20% off of your entire order for everything except for one thing on the shop. But like, that's still a lot of things because you can get like hats, pins, shirts, dice, really cool stuff. But that one thing you're not able to get a 20% discount on, it's actually the Endless Bag of Dice subscription service. And it's once a month. Instead of food like HelloFresh, you'll get dice, which you can sustain yourself on. PSA, do not eat dice. But you're
not my supervisor.
PSA, don't eat dice. But you can get a monthly subscription to dice by purchasing the Endless Bag of Dice. And there's also an extra large version that has things like these cute little pins. Oh my god, fucking green screen. Cute little pins and other pins like ones that Pixie has made. You can get those in the extra large version. And I know that I said that you can't get 20% off, and that kind of sucks. But that's because we have an even better deal for you, and we had to like beat people up for this deal. So make sure to use it. We do not condone real life violence, but we had to beat people up for this deal. You get 50% off of your first month subscription if you use the code REPRPG at checkout for your Endless Bag of Dice. So make sure to click on that link, get 20% off of your entire purchase, and then use the code REPRPG to get 50% off of your first month subscription of the Endless Bag of Dice subscription. Critical Dice. There we go.
The believers have entered the chats. Never mind. We're not going to go there.
Nope, you can do that shit on your channel later. Okay?
So, we do have lots of pins, lots of dice by the wonderful Critical Dice, Jason over there. However, Pixie, our lovely resident Toreador and adventurer here on Rep RPG, also makes a lot of amazing designs for pins and dice and merch in general. So she will go ahead and put that link in the chat as well. There's also the Pin of the Month Club, where you're guaranteed one dose of awesomeness throughout the month. And if you're in the Discord, which you should be, you can also help vote on the different pins of the month each month.
Our pin of the month for next month is going to be our new Chaotic Spooky. They
Yes.
shipped today, which means they'll be here in just a couple of days. And that's gonna be amazing. I'm fucking excited.
Chaotic Spooky is definitely one of my favorites, and I need all of them for any convention lanyard that I have from now on.
Well, join the Patreon and you'll get first dibs.
So let's go around the table and we'll discuss who we are and who we're going to be playing tonight. Now that Kitty's here, we need something besides who's your daddy and what does he do? Because it's always just going to be, I don't know where he's at, but he's coming back very soon to terrorize us all. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do here on Twitch and outside of Twitch, and then who you'll be playing here tonight. We'll start with Pixie.
Hi, hello, I'm Pixie. I am a chaotic vibes variety streamer on my own Twitch channel, which is I will do a shout out for myself in the chat in a moment, because I'm currently running the rep chat, so I cannot do both. I am an author and I am a performer and a believer. He's gone. No, I'm genuinely I just want people to be able to live their goddamn lives. It's not hurting anybody. And that is all I have. That is not who I am.
Dang it.
Matthew.
I had a feeling.
I got it. I'm
had a
good. I
feeling.
can do it. It's fine.
Thank you. I couldn't
It's
remember.
fine. I got
and
you. I was gonna
and
do
I
it later.
was-
It's good.
I knew there was a
It's
missing word.
fine.
Fuck me.
But that's what I do. It's a Bahamut squish that they have. It's adorable.
Baphomet squish.
Bahamut squish.
He believes in ghosts too.
Adorable. So that's what I have, and I'm gonna turn it over to Matthew, who's next in the lineup.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Matthew, and I don't do anything on Twitch except for Rep RPG stuff. And soon, I can get back into doing more Rep RPG stuff.
I'll believe it
But,
when I fucking see it, my dude.
It's Monday the 2nd. Monday the 2nd. That's when I can start. But the reason that I haven't been doing as much Rep RPG stuff is because I'm an actor in the Central Florida area, and I've been doing a lot of shows. So, in fact, if you're in the Central Florida area and you want to come see a steampunk musical, let me know, and I will get you information. But yeah, that's me. Oh, and I'm playing Jace. He's a Tremere. That's it.
Kitty. Cat.
Hello. Names. That's my name. Hi. I'm Kat, and I do Twitch D&D things on other people's channels because it's fun. I go on Indigo Chameleon and I play Strahd on Sundays, where I play a bard, mother of 3, who is having a time. And then I'm here on Fridays doing this. And there's another thing, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about
You're
it
allowed
yet.
to talk about it. I'm about to post official casting because I have people in mind, but I want to double check people are available. Do you want to tell the people what you're doing?
Hi guys, I'm gonna be a game master on this channel on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
We're gonna be playing Wander Home, which is a cute slice of life thingy. It's no combat because I don't like running it, so I'm not gonna do it.
I'm gonna be a fox.
And
Hell yeah.
Pixie's gonna play a little fox, and I have someone playing a snapping turtle, and I have someone
Ooh.
playing a bush baby. And it's just gonna be fun. It's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be good. And you should come drink coffee with me on Sunday morning and have fun.
What time is it gonna be?
10 to 12.
There you go.
So not
Eastern
too early.
Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. So not too early, but also not too late because I have to play Strahd that night.
It's a brunch campaign.
It's a brunch campaign. We're gonna have brunch together. It's gonna be fun.
And Meg, what do you do and who are you tonight?
I'm very uncomfortable with the energy we've created in the studio tonight. Megan, and I'm playing Siren. No, I'm Siren. You're Siren? Who's Siren?
We switched tonight. It's
Find
fine.
out tonight.
We are Siren.
I'm playing Jem, the Malkavian. And that's all I do. I just do this.
And I'll be Sway, your storyteller tonight. we're gonna jump right in tonight to where we left off last week, and I don't know if our players are prepared for it tonight.
Oh no.
As I hopped back into the Zoom call today, I remembered where
Yeah.
we left off.
Barefoot Rebecca Chase
Mhm.
in flowy
Oh,
linen
fuck!
pants.
I forgot!
Linen pants and a camisole.
I
Vibrators are charging. I'm absolutely ready. Let's go.
I'm a little under the weather. I know Pixie is as well. So we're gonna make the best of this tonight. What I mean by that is, chat, if you would like to toss in luck for the players, it may or may not help them tonight. Depends on where the story goes. So chat is just that chat and the players are aware. The world exists. Multiple storylines continue to go on, whether or not the players are in the room, in the scene, or not. Things happen in the world that have nothing to do with the players, because even though the show revolves around them, and sometimes the city, and a lot of times the hierarchy of the city, the world, in fact, does not revolve around the players.
What?
I know, it's crazy. It's a crazy concept.
Impossible.
Now-
actually.
Your luck helps out the players' actions, and your banes essentially help out me to fuck over the players. However, if the storyline doesn't go that way, they may not have to use them this week. So it's all kind of a little good balance between chat and the players. So last week, we left off after the Nosferatu having helped out Gem in their search for where the signals of Addison's phone had been bouncing off. And 3 of the main locations that it had bounced off that they could find was the place of business of Addison, their former coterie member, and Ventru, the new Ventru kindred of the city. A unknown location that was just a residence in the Hard Rock. Knowing that the Hard Rock is a bed down site of the Ventru hierarchy in the city, knowing the things that have happened inside the Hard Rock, and knowing some of the people that have worked there, owned it, or been around it, they didn't feel like they quite leveled up to just going and busting in the Hard Rock, as well as it being a potential masquerade breach, because it is such a human and kind used organization. And I mean, it's the fucking Hard Rock in New Orleans. So they decided to find out the mystery residence, and they tracked it down. Kitty looked it up on Zillow, or was it Kitty or Jace? One of you guys looked it up on Zillow. Yeah, it was Jace.
I have a blueberry. I can't look up anything else.
Not a
Jace
blackberry, a blueberry.
Yeah.
It's a
Because that has
knockoff.
to be off brand. Because it's fantasy, right?
It's a raspberry. It's just real fucked up.
Raspberry.
So Jace looked it up on Zillow, saw that it was a very expensive and very well kept house that had been sold, like 15 years ago to LL Rice, which they found out was Louis Lestat Rice, knowing that is a very poorly concealed nature of a kindred in the city, at least had an expectation of what they were walking into, and was proven immediately correct that it was a kindred, and wrong because it was Rebecca Chase. And as her butler's probably the wrong word, manservant is a word that's horrible and should never be used, but essentially her houseman, I don't know what that shit's called. I'm not rich enough to have
A valet.
person. A valet?
It's called a valet.
Okay. Her Alfred, essentially.
Yes.
Her hammy.
Call it a butler.
Yeah, but butler, whatever. Her valet, her hammy, opened the door and immediately recognized that this group in front of them was probably not here to see him, but was in fact here to see the mistress of the home. And then we saw Rebecca Chase in her after hours attire of I'm not doing Ventrue shit tonight, coming down in comfortable, relaxing pants, barefoot, tank top, hair down. Everyone.
Me and Jace are around back. We have not seen Rebecca Chase
Oh,
yet.
About to go break in. If we give the signal,
Yeah.
Gem and Siren are just out here.
They realize there's a lot of cameras up front, and Kitty and Jace snuck around back to potentially break in if need be to save the day, rescue Addison, destroy the building, whatever needed to happen. There wasn't a lot of planning.
Got it.
And Rebecca Chase comes down the stairs to see both Siren and Gem. And as the valet steps away from the door, she stops on the stairs and just looks at you two expectantly.
It's Bella. You don't pronounce the T.
Really?
It's French. Can we come in?
Can you tell me why you're here?
Not outside safely. I think we'd all rather speak freely, don't you think?
James, bring them in. And she continues to walk down the stairs as James opens the door and kind of arm escorts you in. Would you like to go ahead and invite all of your guests in, or should I go collect them myself?
Do you think she knows?
We've been found out. Abort!
Oh, I think they heard. They'll probably be along shortly.
Over a fence to go get them.
I think we need to go.
Girl, we don't know.
Maybe she means other friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he very quickly just kind of like nods his head to you and walks through the living room. And I say living room, this is obviously not a place where she's going to curl up and watch TV. It's a 2-story house. She was walking down the stairs. In front of you is very much similar to the Toreador estate. Marble floors, where it was almost gaudy with golds and dark greens and very to describe it as like homey, but with more money than you have all ever seen in your entire life. This is not a place where you host soirees and parties. It is her personal place to come and be away from all of that. So while she might not be curling up in her PJs watching Gilmore Girls and General Hospital, this is her, for the lack of better, this is her living space. And in front of you are two sofas and near a fireplace that is currently unlit, and a coffee table in between them. A very comfortable, if not incredibly expensive, sitting area. And he gestures for you to sit down while he moves through the space into 2 double doors that open up. He closes them behind him and walks out. And as you all take your seats, we're going to flip over the camera to Jace and Kitty. Now, you all haven't breached the walls, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Not yet.
So from what your angle you're sitting at is the back of the building or one of the sides? I wanted to say you picked a side, but I can't remember.
We want to go as far back as we could. So however far back that fence is.
So you see that you're probably about 30 or 40 feet from the house, outside of the stone fence. Barricade is probably a better word for it.
We haven't seen any other like gate like openings in
No,
the stone.
there's a very quick look would have made you realize that the only real opening was the front gate. The front gate / parking area with a roundabout to drive through and come back out.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen any cameras from your side, but you can only really see like we described last week, the half of the secondary or the half of the second floor windows and on up.
Sure.
Are you all just waiting for a signal?
Waiting for like a signal.
Yeah, we were waiting for a text.
Yeah.
or something verbal. But
Then we probably do. Like as much as I'd like to be like, they probably heard that, they're probably smart enough to come. That could be a trap. So it's gonna be.
Like, you guys were inside
Yeah.
the wall. We were 40 feet back. Granted,
Yeah.
vampire hearing, but still.
But like vampire hearing versus ADHD, I wasn't paying attention.
So,
Exactly.
Siren, do you take out your phone to make a text? You realize that as you're sending it, it sends, but you notice you have no service. The text message looks like it will send when you have service. You hit the send button, it didn't go nowhere.
A Wi-Fi password. Clearly, if we've been able to ping this as location, she has managed to send texts from here. Do a Wi-Fi password? Like a hotspot I can join? So I can tell my friends to come the fuck inside so they don't think it's a trap.
Oh, don't worry about that. James will get it. And she sits down in the single chair. Regardless of what sofa you guys are sitting on, either the one that's his back is to the door or the one that's kind of like side, to exiting to the other rooms that you can only guess what it is. She sits the one that's closest to the fireplace and kind of tilted towards you all. And very quickly, Jace and Kitty, you hear your friends are inside. And with your hearing, you hear him go, I don't know how many are out here or who.
Can I jump over the fence?
Yes.
Cool, I do that.
This poor man.
How would you like to do this?
How tall is the fence?
It's about 6 feet.
I was already told I could jump this fence
Yeah.
with my history of breaking into homes.
Like
No, you're a vampire. You can do whatever you want, but
The emotional trauma of.
it's like 6 foot, and then it has like a 6-inch kind of like decorative. It comes out a little bit. Like you can't see over the fence. Like you would need to be like 7 foot fucking tall to even be like. Okay, cool.
I just use my restitude and I kind of like just claws out, just kind of get a grip and like it just.
Are you going to like
grab
gargoyle
and jump?
climb this, or like you can clear this?
Yeah, I'm gonna clear it. I just want to clear
Okay.
it.
Very quickly, Jace, you see her just kind of like
all right.
take like a 2 or 3 foot like running, not even running, but like quick step, hop, and barely touching the wall, just kind of goes over it. Very just.
I kind of stand on top of the fence and I look down at Jace like, you need help? Need a hand?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
This aside from running really fast, this is your first glimpse of fucking vampire shit.
Yeah.
You've seen people move at incredible speed. You've seen people like get choked out and through a wall, but just like Spider-Man walk across the wall. You're like, oh shit, that's right. We're supernatural creatures.
Oh shit, right.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Also, it's like default for me, but as we were going around the side, Jace's whole eyes had turned black while we were walking. For this.
Kitty
for
definitely
this.
would have been like one of these in front of your face if that happened.
For the
And
that
Jace,
thing.
you see her go.
Yeah. What? That would have been earlier, but like, what?
What are your eyes doing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. What is your body doing?
Just grabs onto his face. I can see your
Oh
eyes.
no! Other weird shit is happening to Jason. He doesn't understand it.
We have told her the stories. We have regaled her with the times he didn't know what he was doing.
Like realistically, if Jason's eyes went like, no, they're fine. I'd be like, no, they're not. They're black.
They're black. They're black.
What? Really?
Crazy.
What? You don't say.
It's the weird Harry Potter.
Although
shit. It's
actually,
weird
I
Harry
guess
Potter.
I've not done that in front of a person
Or
in
a
front of any
mirror.
of You guys.
You have
before.
been very
Like-
careful about not doing that.
Okay,
Where
then
they
because
can
I've been very careful not to do that around other people, they're not going to do that. I'm just going to turn on Sense the Unseen instead.
I mean, if you tell her not to tell anyone, she won't.
I know she won't,
Unless
but
she's asked very direct
I know
questions.
she won't. But he's also trying to be careful for once in his goddamn life.
I'm
Okay,
very proud of
so
you.
you sense
so
the
instead,
unseen.
it's Sense the Unseen. Yeah.
You like over the wall.
The
On the
entire
other
time.
side?
The entire time that we're on the
You-
outside,
you
because
see
I want
no
to
s-
check it before I go over.
You see no script. You see no, no Baron-esque writing on the walls.
Yeah.
You see no wards. You
Okay.
don't see any Tremere shit.
Cool.
You also don't see any ghosts.
Love that. That's
so
even
that's-
better.
It's always a plus.
Yep. Okay, whenever she hops onto the top, I'm gonna like, and he's like 5'8", so he's just gonna reach up and climb it like a normal person.
Yeah. It's very easy for you all to
Yeah.
do this. It's just like, cool on, man. I'm up.
Yeah.
Like you have
A
dexterity. that you
normal
never
person would have
had.
walked to the front door and just walked in. We're like, oh, okay, hello.
And you see him just kind of go, oh shit, there's two of them. Okay, is there anyone else that'll be joining us tonight?
Not
don't
that
know.
I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you. If you would kindly join us inside. Your friends are already inside. May I provide you with any refreshments?
No.
Okay, outstanding. And he turns and just leaves you out in the fucking yard. Now you're
All right.
you're about maybe 10 or 15 feet from a that big ass hot tub that you saw in Zillow. That could be a pool, but it's marketed as a hot tub.
Love that.
Kitty stares at it longingly.
You both get the very faint smell of blood and chlorine.
Love that.
Sexy.
Like you get okay, this is a hot tub. I smell the hot tub,
Sure.
but you also, on top of all those chemicals and treatment, you smell blood.
Cool.
And then James turns to leave you all and walk inside. And that's when Siren Gem, you see him return, and he goes, Miss Chase, can I provide you and your associates with any refreshments tonight? And she turns, no, I've already had my fill. Thank you, James. Ladies, may I help you out with anything? And she's giving you hospitality, but the pretense of like, we're all friends is not there.
And yeah, Siren will decline entirely. Gem is having tech issues. I'm going to assume she's going to
And
decline.
we can
Okay.
assume that she also declined.
Got you. And 1 second, reading this. Okay. Got you, Matthew. Okay. So James, he says, yes, ma'am. May I be excused for the moment? Of course, James. Just stay within earshot. Of course. And he walks from, if you're sitting facing the fireplace, that couch there, he walks behind it, and this is a large room, but he walks behind it and exits the doors there, and again pulls them open, steps inside and shuts them. Gem will return shortly. Siren, do me a favor and make a wits awareness check to see if you catch some things.
Oh, great.
You got this.
Do
We
I?
have, yes, you do, especially because we have 80 luck
I'm
points.
gonna use all of them. No, we're only allowed to use 5. I know we're only allowed to use 5. What's awareness? What's awareness? What's awareness?
Yeah, 5 at a time.
3 plus 2. I'm gonna use more than
It's
that.
not incredibly hard DC.
Listen, but I'm
like.
bad. So.
But I'm bad.
But I'm bad at this. I'm bad at things.
So bad.
So don't do that. Oh God. So it's 5, and then I'm gonna use, fuck it, 5 of our luck points because the Rebecca Chase shit seems very important. So I'm gonna do that. Please mark that off, Matthew.
You got it.
Thank you, class secretary.
You're welcome.
I believe in you.
Oh, that is. Remember I said it was bad?
Oh no.
So I crit failed on my hunger dice.
Okay.
Well,
One
That
crit
negates one of your
success.
successes.
Yeah, 1 crit success.
So a total of 1 success.
2 successes, 3 successes, 4 successes, 5 successes.
So with that, like I said, it was a small DC, but with that, you very carefully and subtly watch James as he leaves, and you see what appears to be like a command center of some sort.
Oh my god, is she Batman?
There's a lot of computers. There are 3 other individuals in there. 2 of them are on the computers, all the terminals, and you see somebody there who you don't hear it, but you see him either chamber around or do some kind of mechanical something or another with his gun, and it is a short-barreled rifle, about 14 inches long total, and he has a headset on that is just ears and goes like a headband, and he has one of those like super cool Call of Duty throat mics.
Amazing.
Yeah.
File that away for shit to deal with later. That's a later problem. I hope.
Which is the future of telephones. I'm just telling you guys that now.
The throat and the ears.
So we used it on submarines for the last like 60 years. It's sound-powered telephones. It uses the vibration of your
Holy
voice
shit.
to power the device to transmit your. Yeah, it's
Shit,
awesome.
that's fucking cool. So she files that away in her head, and a little bit because of the decorum of like being raised a debutante, she will echo Rebecca's body language a little bit, in that you make the host feel comfortable by emulating the host a little.
Just so you're aware, she's in a very comfortable, like, legs crossed, back, arms kind of like, she's very in her element, obviously in control of the situation.
Then she will do that, but more tight-laced. She will sit back straight, crossed legs, hands folded like this on the lap instead of but she does a similar version of what Rebecca's doing. She just makes it more like it's the business casual version of what Rebecca's doing.
Fair enough.
Watches them have like a, I don't know, posture off and just like, okay.
You're not wrong.
People.
No, Jem, while you were resetting, Siren saw the control
brought
center.
out Edison's dead body.
Just
Yeah, no, I heard
problem
about
solved.
the control center.
We
Yeah,
found it.
Now she got 5
Problem's over. Time to
successes.
leave.
She got 5
That I
successes
heard.
with that.
that I heard. There's James went into the command center. There's 3 dudes, a guy, maybe with a round, maybe not, and throat mic.
Would you like to roll?
No, that sounds like.
Okay. Hello. Would you like to roll perception to see if you see anything? That was with 5 successes. I don't know if you wanted to roll and see if
Sure. What is perception?
you. Wits awareness.
What is perception?
nobody knows.
How do I perceive?
I don't want to be perceived. I would like to stealth for the rest of my life.
1 success.
Sorry.
No, there's no sorry.
It's been a
You're
year.
sorry if
Why
you didn't
haven't
do
we
it.
been saying that way this whole campaign?
So
I have been.
I
with-
failed you. I'm sorry.
with that
No one
success,
listens to me.
whether or
Ooh,
not you
monkey butt.
find him like very attractive or not, you can't help but to like just watch James. Like
That ass though.
like
That
James
ass.
James is your focus.
He is caked up for days.
We love to watch him leave.
There's a
Boom,
reason why
boom,
he was
boom.
he's Rebecca Chase's valet.
He's an assless chaps.
Ooh, he putting the T in that valet though. Oh, what's up, son?
Bob the Gunman.
Is he kindred?
No one has. You don't get
Can
the
I- Try to
J-
tell.
Jason Kitty. You would know that he's probably not because he keeps muttering underneath his breath.
Sure.
Like we
Um,
can't hear him.
Yeah, like
he
he,
isn't smart enough to not do that.
whether it's smart enough or whether it's just bad habits, you don't know.
As Rebecca
Like-
Chase is not beating the bad habits out of him.
Like
Goddamn.
he
She
did it
finds
for
them sexy.
You get the impression that with him being completely flushed of face and skin,
Mhm.
that he is more likely either a ghoul or he's using the blush of life. Kitty and Jace, you understand that while he did it in front of you, he may not do it in front of Rebecca Chase.
That's fair.
They in the room yet?
That's what we were going to toss the camera back over to them. Do you explore a little bit of the yard, or do you just walk inside and follow James?
Is the door like one of those like window doors that you can definitely
is.
see the outside? Now that I'm going inside.
Like, not only that, not only do these like
Can't
very
see
big
me.
window doors, like multiple windows, the doors are still open.
Yeah.
Like he didn't walk in and like, all right, well, I'm gonna leave them out there. They can shut the door behind them. It was very much like you guys got
This isn't a
shit.
video game, okay? Like
Yeah.
you're expected. to-
The door doesn't
Oh.
automatically just swing shut.
Oh.
I really want to explore this hot tub to see why it smells like blood, but I'm not gonna do that while she's sitting in the room
Oh,
Oh,
staring.
well, let me ask you this:
Watching
how,
you?
How would you? She cannot see. Well, she can see you, but she's used. She's like 60 feet away, and you can. Well, she's actually like 100 feet away,
Yeah.
and you can tell that she is not looking at you.
No, I have no special abilities to like hide me sneaking around. I am very obvious all the time. So.
But how would you, if you were to inspect this pool, how would you like to go about doing that?
I guess.
You don't actually have to be Batman. Like,
Okay, so I need to look exactly. So I have sense the beast, but I also have eyes. I think eyes of the beast lets me see in the dark.
Eyes
It
of the
is
Beast is
dark
kind of like,
outside.
yeah, Eyes of
Can
the
I
Beast is
use
more.
eyes of the beast to like look around a little extra outside?
Yeah, they do give you like, it's like having night vision and eagle eye shit all at the same time.
Yeah. I want to
Um,
use that and like just look around a little more so there's any like small details like
Okay.
outside in this area.
So what you notice, make a wits awareness check.
Wits awareness, that's what I'm good at. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Where's awareness? Where am I? What is happening? I'm actually not horrible at that. Hold on. Wait a second. I'm gonna use 2 of the luck dice as well.
Go for it.
Go for it.
I got you.
That's 4 successes. Well,
Nice.
5 because one's a on my. Oh, what? No, it's 4 successes. Sorry.
I apologize. How many of those hunger dice did you just say that you used?
3,
3?
2,
Got it. Oh,
5, 6, 7, 2.
Whichever.
I
Two.
used 2.
Okay.
We got 80. Just
Well,
round up to
we're down to
45.
73.
Okay.
So that's 4 successes.
You clock 2 cameras, one on each corner.
Mhm.
You clock on the inside of the fence or the barricade, essentially, pointing inwards right below the level of the wall. You clock another 2 cameras.
Okay.
So there's 2 facing this way, and there's 2 on the house pointing the other way. So there's like no, you're not sneaking into this backyard.
Yeah. No. And I'm glad we didn't.
You wouldn't have known that without being inside the yard. However,
Yeah.
but as you look around the pool or the hot tub, you don't really find a reason for the smell of it. There
Okay.
is, as you walk around the left, there is 1 drop of blood
Mm.
that you kind of that you wouldn't have noticed if you didn't have fucking eagle eye vision of being able to like zoom in. But it's dried.
Cold.
It's been there for a while. But well, there's
How
one
do
drop.
I politely tell Rebecca Chase she needs a new cleaning person? Anyway.
Probably just like that, honestly.
Okay. I wave at one of the cameras when I walk inside.
Okay. Jace?
There's no spooky shit on the inside of that hot tub.
No.
Okay, then I go inside.
Now I'm just going to assume that you keep that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until I see a ghost or something that prompts me to turn it off.
Fair enough.
It is just on, because it doesn't take. I know it's like kind of stupid for that to be the case, but like it doesn't take anything for me to use it.
Yeah, there's no
real reason for me not to use it unless there's a ghost around.
Yeah, it's one of those powers. Like, why wouldn't you just be able to see all the stuff that you could see all the time?
And I mean, I'm sure there's also some amount of concentration that goes into having it active, which like if there was some other stuff going on, I would be like, okay, I drop that so that I can do this or that.
Also, if you perceive the wrong ghost, be like, fuck.
Well, and then exactly, like if I like see if there's some reason for me not to like seeing a ghost, then I will actively turn it off. But like while I'm like walking through something or like sitting in a room talking to Rebecca Chase and I'm worried about what might be around us, I'll keep it on for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm also going to keep Eyes of the Beast on just to be extra aware of my surroundings.
Also, I'd very much like to know both of your reactions to whose fucking house this is. Because you were not the front.
When we walk in, I'll let you know.
So I forgot we hadn't actually covered that. You guys haven't seen Rebecca Chase. As you walk in, she's facing the girls, but you do see like the corner profile of her face, and as she hears your footsteps click on the marble, she turns and looks at you. She goes, "Well, it's nice to see most of the original coterie." And she turns
and Kitty.
And Kitty.
What an oddly coincidental thing for you to say.
And Kitty, you know this is the new Primogen of the Ventrue.
Yes. Would I know she was his sire?
Yes.
I would know this.
They would have caught you up. Yeah, they caught you
whenever
up.
Whenever we kind of gave you the lowdown on who Addison was, I think it would have come with the caveat of, here is the family tree that we know of.
Cool. She's Rebecca Chase, and you know when dogs do that thing and they hear something and go, huh? That's what happens.
Welcome to the family Madrigal, and we like have the whole.
Which is very fitting for the Ventrue, who can like recount their generations back to Methuselah. Yeah.
And
whether
Jace
or not
does
you
say
believe
that.
in those. Yeah.
Jace does say like what an oddly coincidental thing for you to say as he walks over to sit down.
Kitty just does the head tilt thing, like, this is weird. What? Huh?
And she follows Jace when you say that. She follows, like, she tracks you with her eyes the entire time. She goes, and she looks to the others. Did you find something? Please tell me you've actually found something.
Well, we thought we had, because we followed his signal here.
And to that reaction and her, please tell me you found something. Can I do an insight check on that?
Yeah.
Because that's in theory, could be the fakest shit that I've ever seen somebody say.
Let's bring up yours. So my chat while I'm doing this. What do you want to do for it?
So obviously insight.
Yeah.
But because it's like in the social column, part of me is like a charisma insight or maybe even a manipulation insight.
I was gonna say either a charisma or manipulation.
You got it. I mean, they're
if you were lying, would
score.
you look like that? So my chat for like 2 years now, whenever I'm just not focusing or I'm looking at something else, I go da-na-na, da-na-na. And people have been like, why are you doing the ESPN sound? I'm like, I'm not. I don't watch sports ball. Like, I don't watch ESPN. And then I realized it the other day at work that that's exactly what the fuck I do. And I don't to this day know why.
ESPN infiltrates all, whether you want it to or not.
I'm using 3 of our
Okay.
luck dice.
Hell yeah,
way.
use them.
Okay. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes. One of those 7, including a crit that I counted twice.
So not only do you believe her, you catch a crack in the mask of control, where for a moment there's shock, there's hope, there's a little fear, but when they said we tracked his signal here, that immediately goes away. And she goes, so you're still there. Okay.
It's on his phone that he's actively been texting from? Yes. Or somebody has actively been texting
I don't
from?
believe that it's him.
Neither do we. That's why we tracked it.
You would have found that it was here and his place of business. I get that.
And the Hard Rock.
And she does the dog tilts. We tracked the phone for months, and it was just the here and the place of business. Somebody spoofing his location.
But the Hard Rock wasn't on your list.
The Hard Rock was not on my list. I'm not doubting any of your capabilities. I know that you're currently working with the sheriff. I love that we have new hounds in the city that are from a very variety bunch. An eclectic mix of the clans. However, to the best of my knowledge, unless Kitty, you are a hacker extraordinaire. Can I ask where you got this information from?
Not yet.
Okay.
Our methods are as varied as our personalities and our clans here. What's important is we're checking and double checking. We're not relying on a single source. Because, as I would expect you know, given that you just said someone's spooking his location, single sources can't be trusted.
And she uncrosses her legs and crosses the other one around. Like, takes her left leg down, puts her right leg up. Just kind of readjusts. And she goes...
The Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that. Like, there's pants, unfortunately. But, like, there's a little bit of, like... There's some, like, man spreading and then flip. She goes,
just starting dominating.
Let her
just spread. I turn the couch around and I sit in the Riker. I Riker on an armchair and just. I Bob Fosse actually.
One arm and the other arm. I can respect that you're following up as many leads as possible and you're not relying on one as the true location.
But if the Hard Rock wasn't on yours, I'm assuming he hasn't been to the Hard Rock since, well, he was sent there by you.
At this point, with as many months as it's been, I can't say, 1, if it's him, 2, if he's alive, or 3, where his locations and where. I can't, and she gets visibly frustrated.
Can't feel him?
No, that's more of you all's reality. There's the Malkavians.
No, I know. There was more to that sentence.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who owns the Hard Rock currently, since Quartermain's gone?
Currently, I do.
Interesting. And I'm sure once you took control, you did full inventory of everything and had all of the rooms refurbished and looked at.
As far as the security on the inside, as well as the and she looks at you, Jace, don't want to say paintings, but
Did we ever tell anybody about that?
No, you did not. You told Iris.
Yeah.
the wards
Cameras.
that I can only assume the Tremere puts on the floor.
Interesting.
Everything was searched through. Everything was checked against the blueprints because I didn't trust my sire enough to just believe that he left well enough alone.
Then does that mean that you were ever able to find out any information about who staked a vampire in a kindred in Matthew doesn't use the right words, that you ever found out who staked a kindred in one of your rooms then?
No. This is why I haven't turned over ownership of, I don't really care about the Hard Rock, but the fact that other people have in the past, and it was used as a staging ground and a meeting place for a variety of activities throughout the city, both kindred, kind, illegal, legal, moral, and immoral. The room that potentially Jace's ashes were found in.
Addison's.
What did I say?
Jace.
Faces.
Foreshadowing.
She looks at you, Jace. You thought you got back.
What a
I
wicked
start
woman I am.
freaking out and slapping everybody's throats.
Chase has been a ghost the entire
Jace
time.
takes off his mask as Addison under the mask.
The true mystery of
Speak
Whiskey
when
Lou.
spoken to, bitch.
Shut the fuck up. I would allow it.
the room that potentially Addison's ashes had been found in, myself and Victor did a thorough investigation of everything that we could potentially expect to find in the Hard Rock. It's a hotel, it's a casino, it's a concert hall for the kind nowadays. There's nothing, there's no hidden basement. Welcome to New Orleans. There's no hidden attic. There's nothing that we can find that would be a elaborate place of ill repute to hide. It's just a Hard Rock.
People have hidden inside slot machines before.
She looks at you and goes,
Addison.
I was unaware of that. Thank
Mental
you.
note.
Yeah. Well, she goes, I could stash a body. And
Because I haven't found any slot machine. It's actually pretty roomy in the back once you open. It's all just technical stuff. Sorry.
No, keep
she
going.
was-
What?
The only issue with the Hard Rock, aside from the Tremere wards that they deny putting up, was an intense amount of security. The benefit of that, with the tapes and everything that we've been able to actually recover, with the ongoing surveillance and reconnaissance of the Hard Rock, it's one of the reasons why I know that his signal has been spoofed, is because he has not in any way, shape, or form entered into the Hard Rock. And when we tracked the signal, if his signal was popping up there, then someone is coming into the Hard Rock or just spoofing it off the internal towers.
So, someone who has access to your place, his office, and Hard Rock?
Well, it's less about access to the physical buildings themselves, and she goes, James opens the doors and leaves them open, and you can very clearly see these individuals again.
Can I eagle eyes the monitors in there?
Yeah, go for it.
I would like to do that.
Make a intelligence awareness.
Oh no!
Got this.
This is less of like catching what's in your peripheral and more like I'm gonna.
Luck points.
Yep. Use 5 luck points if you want.
An awareness. I'm gonna use 4. So I have 8.
You got it.
That's 3 successes. One of them's on a hunger die.
So from where you're at, it's kind of like trying to look at a computer monitor with somebody's head in the fucking way. But there are multiple
Throw a rock at
monitors.
someone. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke.
there are multiple monitors, and there are in the center of the two terminals are the cameras that you have all clocked.
Okay.
There's 16 cameras. You guys have not clocked 16. But with that, you could probably figure out where the other ones are if you would like to come back at a later point.
I have no
But
plan of breaking back into Rebecca Chase's house.
the two, for the lack of a better word, the two analysts are looking at something else, and the cameras are in between both of them, and you kind of see that as chat named him Bob the man with a gun. Bob with a gun is kind of just nonchalantly looking at them periodically. You can't make out what they're doing on the terminals. It looks like a black and green Excel spreadsheets on
Playing
some
Galaga.
of them.
That man over there is definitely playing Galaga.
He's playing Galaga. He's
You
totally
probably
playing
wouldn't
Galaga.
God, I wish I could tell Rebecca Chase that one of her people is playing Galaga instead of working.
It's the cleaning person.
I am
Yeah.
telling her about her cleaning person. I will.
It's the same guy. It's the pool boy. You get the impression that it is they're tracking ongoing events, but you can't see what those events are.
Okay. We'll put that in the kitty brain for later. Please continue the scene.
But James comes in, he puts his arms behind his back and goes, yes, Miss Chase, can I help you? Can you explain to them how cell phone spoofing works with the towers and everything? And he goes, actually, yes. And he goes into this, Sway actually knows how this works, but long tirade of you don't need to be at the physical location. You just need to be able to have access to the tower and the mediary bus in between your cell phone and the tower to basically make it look like it's coming from any location that you want to. You get the impression after a very stupid conversation that he can make it look like it's coming from the club if he wanted to. Or she, whoever's doing it. But if it's Addison covering his tracks, like, he could do it.
I want to hear the full explanation in an after-hours show at some point. I would like the science behind
Do
this
that.
for reasons.
So it's not. These aren't legit.
Not necessarily,
No.
Then why would they ping it from here then?
because she's his sire.
And they
So it
know
makes
where
sense.
she lives?
I would assume so.
That's my issue then. When did you
Well,
move? Have you always lived here, or was this always just the Primogen's place?
I've lived here for 15 years. No, this is my place that is now the Primogen's place. I'm not moving because I got promotion.
Would you tell that to Vegas, please? For fuck's
Vegas got to
sake.
step up. I am very comfortable with where I'm at.
I respect that.
Also, it makes sense. that
Money
whoever-
matters. She doesn't say that. Sway says that.
Okay.
It,
Yes,
it
she
makes
does. She
sense.
just opens up her
You
shirt
could-
and you see that tattoo across her sternum.
Money
matters.
matters. It's one
Thug
boob
life.
is money, the other boob is matters.
Yeah. It's the
Um,
difference between having a castle and making it such, and then having a cardboard box that you have enough money to make a castle. Like-
But
My concern is more that you all have been so careful with, hey, maybe don't tell people where the fuck you live. So if someone's trying to make it look like he's here, are they trying to frame you for whatever he's doing and make you look like an accomplice? Why keep up the charade of making it look like he's still on the map and coming here over and over and over again?
And so Rebecca starts to speak, and James interrupts and then stops. But she goes, well, and then he goes, so the concept of that, and just stops and looks at Rebecca Chase. She goes, no, by all means, continue your conversation.
James is bold. I like him.
And James
Tammy.
very just kind of like,
James will not be here next episode.
No, James wears the pants in the bedroom. James is secretly the top.
James
I love
stops
him.
his conversation and just kind of like looks. He doesn't look down. He just kind of looks up to the ceiling, like, "Well, fuck that up." And she goes, no, by all means, continue.
It's a
And
trap,
he
James. It's a trap.
takes-
It's a trap. It's a trap.
And you see him visibly take a breath, for those of you who are wondering if he was a ghoul or a kindred. Realistically, if you would like to keep a chess piece on the board, regardless of importance, then the benefit of making him look like he's going to his usual places is beneficial to that. There is not, to my understanding, a very high secrecy factor to your society of where the prominent individuals are. It's just the security of getting in, the expectations of culture and courtesy of not doing that. So as far as what is actually going on, it appears by our reconnaissance that someone wants everyone to believe that Addison is either one, still alive, or two, you can't find him because we're showing you the same places that he would have routinely been at. And he looks back to Rebecca Chase and she just nods.
Yeah, if it's a kindred, then it would make sense that they would know where she was. So, I mean, at least that theoretically rules out one of our worries.
If I may ask, and this is James, what were your ideas? By all means, you don't have to share with me, but I am the one heading up the intelligence for Miss Chase.
You are? Really? Because we should probably work really closely together then. Hi, she's like turning over the sofa. Hi, my name is Jem.
And he actually like takes 2 steps forward. I'm aware. My name is James. Like I said, head of security. It is an honor to meet the progeny of the Prince of the City. And he looks very carefully at like Rebecca Chase, like, are we good? This is what I'm supposed to say, right?
Did I get the flashcard right?
Yeah, like
I get the flash.
like he's like,
And this, of course, is Jem. Sorry.
Jem.
That's right.
Yes.
Jen, yours, and Kimmy. Hello. It's nice to meet you all. Love you. That was to Pixie, not to James. Not yet. He's got to earn it.
He's got her name as Soiree written down. Like,
I'll be honest. I think the plan was just sort of kick this door down and say, "All right, where is she?" But that didn't work.
I'm glad we
well,
won.
and this is Rebecca Chase. So that leaves us to the next steps then. What was your course of action if he wasn't here and it wasn't me, or
the next steps would be to continue our investigation, which we will be doing as soon as we leave.
so you had my place, the Hard Rock, and his place of business. We need to get him a name for that fucking business so I can stop saying place of business. Chat, if we could have a name for a model agency slash like PR firm, that'd be
You
great.
think it's not called like Claiborne Incorporated?
It probably is.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Claiborne and Associates.
Claiborne
There
Co.
are no
There's no
associates.
associates.
It is
No,
just
it's just
him.
Claiborne Inc. And when you walk in, it's very Miranda Priestley. Like there's just
Yes.
like Warhol pops of
Oh yeah.
Correct.
like paintings of Addison's face just fucking everywhere.
Krista says it's called Looking Good.
Oh,
I don't-
good too.
I think he would be even more pretentious than that.
See, and that's the reason why it would be Claiborne Inc.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't
tried
want
to-
it to be kitschy and like hip,
Mhm.
so that people want to do it. It's like a.
He tried to convince Nosferatu to be runway models. Like,
Every
That's-
time
that's
Kitty
balls
hears more
on that
about
motherfucker.
Addison, she's more. I would hate this guy.
Why are we looking at
welcome to the club.
could you imagine the first time that Addison would have told Kitty, "Speak when you're spoken to"?
He would have no face.
Someone be dead.
He
One of
would
us
have
be
no
dead.
face. And we'd be, I allow it. I'll, yeah.
It would have been
Speak
beautiful.
when you're spoken to.
Also, not the first time a kitty would have beaten Addison up. So,
Bazinga.
So
can I
yeah, go ahead. What?
since I'm next to mommy and I'm in Ventru world,
Mm-hmm.
Can I try? This is another thing. The Madness Network, is that
Yeah.
only attached to other Malks?
So that is where you get your premonitions from and your sight from.
Okay.
The network itself is any information that a Malkavian might know or is currently experiencing or has experienced in the past. Potentially something that a Malkavian may experience in the future.
Okay. Can
Malkavians
I-
are fucking wild.
Can I?
Do you want to
Can I
try to
just-
tap in?
Yeah. Can I try to tap that? And
Yes, I'm trying
see
to
if
find
anybody-
my text notepad. There it is. Bep notes.
It's Friday, y'all.
So, since last night, technically in game, you fed for resonance.
Yes, I did.
If you would like to blood surge and risk becoming hungrier, you can still do that.
Yeah.
Because you haven't quote unquote slept yet. Go ahead and do a rouse check. See if you get hungrier.
Ooh, crit success.
Okay. Then it's going to be a resolve plus auspex, and you get to add 1 for the resonance, 2 for the blood surge. Now you all can do this at any time without feeding specifically. She's getting a resonance point, extra dice, but you can always rouse the blood and do a rouse check.
Oh.
Or
Well-
for a blood surge. Sorry.
Don't look at that rouse. The second one. That because I have an auspex button and I thought that's what that was. So I'm doing what auspex?
Resolve and auspex. So whatever points you would have in auspex are your dice for that, and then your resolve dice. And then you can add as many extras as you want, up to 5.
I'll do 5 if that's okay. Yes, it is.
for
We
it.
have 10,000 of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm taking 5. Oh shit, yeah, because that was not great.
No,
Wait.
no.
It only rolled 1 die and your hunger die. Did you include your resolve?
I did. This
How
is
many
a bad
points-
system. I
it
have
is.
2
How
points
many-
in resolve
Okay, so you have
And
1
how
point in
many
auspex, right?
and 1 point in auspex.
So 3
3
dice plus another 1 for resonance, plus an extra 2. So you have 7 dice without adding
Is
any
that-
extra.
So can I just roll 7 dice real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Dear God in heaven. All right.
Yeah, I don't care how you guys roll.
Okay, so one
One
success,
success.
from
And
that.
then-
Hold on. 2 more. Ooh, and a crit fail. So nothing. And then I'm doing 5 extra.
Yeah.
Please, come on, baby Jesus. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So 3 successes. And you're looking for a premonition about what?
I'm just trying to see if anyone's seen Addison just standing in the Madness Network. Has anybody seen Addison Claiborne?
Marco!
Anybody got a polo?
So with that,
Oh no.
with 3 successes, it's a very quick for even you. You know that time usually changes for you compared to everyone else, but even this is quick for you. You're not sure that anyone else even recognized you glazing over for a second. You get the impression of it's not Jesus, it's not Addison, but it is a crucified male form.
Oh.
Oh no.
And that's it.
No.
Oh. Do I get anything
No.
else like a location?
Unfortunately not.
So I went looking for Addison.
Like
and when
you
I-
don't even see a cross. You just see floating in the clouds a male form, head down, arms out, feet together.
crucified. I went looking for Addison, and that's what I found.
Mhm.
What? does
You were
that
you were looking for a premonition,
mean? Yeah.
and with the hope of Addison, and with 3 successes, that's what you got.
Oh no.
Probably means.
Yeah, I
this,
know what
think.
that means.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Like,
one-
no,
one
I know what
group
it
that's-
means. I just don't
that's
want to
real-
know what it
real big
means.
on that guy. Yeah. Oh god. Oh god. I'm gonna text Lucy while conversations are happening.
Okay, what do you text Lucy?
Think I saw Addison with what did we say it was? It was 2i.
Oh, for our version of Second Inquisition.
Yeah.
It was either eye, like two physical eyes, or it was like a cross. Or like a two cross, like the number 2 in cross. I think I can't remember what it was.
Where do I get one of those little T necklaces?
It's across from, yeah.
Across from where? Yeah, with 2i.
And the same thing that happened to Pixie, or Siren. When you hit send, nothing happens.
Oh,
Damn it! Can I have the Wi-Fi, please?
Oh, about that. And this is James. No communications from within inside the network.
Okay, where's the network stop?
Outside the fence line.
Okay, and she just gets up and goes.
And
she's gonna be allowed to come back in, right?
Puts on horse blinders by the roses, like shit. Forgot.
With that, you get one of the unnamed analysts turns around and goes, James?
Gunnar Bob?
And he goes, yeah, what's going on? Yeah. And he looks over the shoulder and he goes, Miss Chase, Miss Jem, who just left the premises, sent out a text saying that Addison was with the Second Inquisition.
That's not what I said. You're so shit at reading texts.
Well, okay. He relays verbatim what you said.
You saw him with
2i, right?
2i.
Just 2i.
With just eyes. I saw him with my eyes. As far
You
as
saw
he knows,
him. Okay.
with my
And
eyes.
Rebecca
Yeah,
Chase.
come and tackle me in
Rebecca goes.
No, she didn't.
So Jem saw Addison with 2i. Second Inquisition? Really? That's what we're using to describe the super secret government organization that has controlled access to every phone network. And she stands up and starts walking behind you.
As I'm power walking through the garden, I can hear this, and it's not as super stealthy as LL Rice, but we're trying.
James, so Jace, Siren, and Kitty, you see very calmly, but with a purpose.
Calmly,
Rebecca
like
Chase.
the book Dumbledore, or calmly like the movie Dumbledore? What
I like the
rating
book
of
Dumbledore.
calm are we? Thank you.
The movie Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Jem is movie Dumbledore. Rebecca Chase is book Dumbledore.
Okay, thank you.
And James goes, my first name it really is Louis, and he just kind of like walks back into the control center.
Oh no.
Jem, I need you to come back inside.
I have to send this real quick.
You need to tell me why before I allow you to leave my domain to send that text. And she's, regardless if you've stopped walking, she's going to continue. Like, she's not just hollering at you from the door.
She's going to lower her voice so that we can have an outside.
Yeah,
talk.
She did that so like you could hear her.
I know.
Meanwhile, inside, Siren has flagged down James. She goes, you know what? I will take a quick shot of literally anything at this point. Thank you so much. Surprise me.
Who do you have on tap?
Who do you have on tap? I'd like
Bob, you're
your
up.
drunkest.
And he just kind of like rolls his eyes, stands up, and starts walking. And Kitty and Jace, you see him go towards like the kitchen area, and like he takes out from one of his like mini Molly strips from he takes out like his dagger, his like boot knife that's strapped to his chest, and starts like he just drops it to the side and starts walking to the kitchen. And while the continuation of Jem and Rebecca goes on, he comes back out with a bandage, like a gauze bandage wrapped around his hand, and then he hands you with his bloody hand a shot glass and goes right back in to sit down at the computer screens.
Kitty's eyes do that cat thing when they slit real quick and they just go back to normal.
I have some questions about how this house runs, but I'm gonna save them. Cheers.
And James just goes smoothly, ma'am. And so
I gotta get me one of them. I love Hammy, but I need a James. Holy shit.
I'm adding him to my personal Louis collection. Are you kidding? I have James Louis. I've got Whiskey Lou.
So Rebecca doesn't hold out her hands or, like, give me the fucking phone, but she just, I need you to come back inside. Discuss with me first, and then the text will be sent as long as I don't destroy your phone.
I saw something when I went looking just now. What I saw was Jesus in the sky.
So why is that Addison?
Because that's what I was looking for, was Addison. And that's what I saw. But it wasn't really Jesus. It just sort of did the Jesus thing.
And she walks past you and puts a code into the what do we call them? The call box, the inside terminal.
Mm-hmm.
And the gate swings open. Go ahead.
Just puts her hand out. Fine. Then.
And then while it's sitting there, you get a message back from Lucy very quickly. This is K. And a heart. Because she's not going to be an asshole just like Kay, but like you get a very quick response from Lucy going, "Okay, gotcha."
Pull it back in real quick. Can help, please?
How? Question mark. And Rebecca just comes up from behind you. Let's just step outside.
Hold on, I just have a gift to send. She finds the Orlando Bloom doing his Jack Sparrow impression.
Okay.
And sends that. Just sticks it out.
You get a gif back of like the Sanderson sisters. By the way, they're making Hocus Pocus 2 this year.
They are.
Steps outside. You get the gif returning of the Sanderson sisters over a cauldron of just like, sure, let me work my magic.
Okay. We can do whatever you want now.
And she stops and she looks at you and she looks around. There's no one really out here. Do you think that he's still here? He's still him somewhere.
I have to believe that.
And that's what I've been telling myself too. And she turns and walks.
That asshole was way too strong to let anybody shut him down.
She just goes right and just keeps walking.
She is gonna like walk up after her and kind of like as she's walking, slip her hand in and give her a little squeeze. And then let her go.
Of like her hand, like your
yeah,
hand in
just
hand?
give her
Okay.
a little, yeah.
Sorry, my brain went from like all the times you said like step on me, mommy, and then to like I just slipped my hand in real quick and gave a squeeze. I was like,
Yeah.
her pockets aren't that deep. Where are you reaching?
Oh, but right through the back. Absolutely.
Pockets. I'm gonna make a puppet out of Rebecca Chase.
Oh God.
I think I'm gonna go to break. It's fine.
Save.
You don't get a squeeze back, but you don't get the fuck off me kind of thing.
Yeah.
This will count as a win.
She walks in and she goes, James, and he's standing right there just having finished his conversation with Siren. And yes, Miss Chase, I need 4 VIP passes to the Hard Rock, staff passes. Do you have a time frame? The moment that I asked for them, James, is when I would expect it to be done. And he goes, well, if I'm going to, and he looks and he goes, yes, ma'am. Like he was about to like, he looks at you all before he stops and he's just like, never mind, I'm going to shut the fuck up then. And walks into the control room and taps the guys and he goes, hey, 4, you need to. and you're left with just you four and Rebecca Chase as James goes into the control room.
Kitty raises her hand.
Yes, Miss Kitty.
You guys are like, not you guys, that sounded weird. You guys are known for like perfection, right? You like everything to be absolutely perfect.
In what way? Like you might be
general.
describing the Toreador more.
That's
so
very fair. I just think you need a new cleaning person because there's a drop of blood right outside your pool. And I
Yeah,
know
your
you
pool
it-
smells
Bob?
like blood.
He goes, I'm not a fucking pool boy. And she walks over there and smacks the shit out of him. And you all hear this, but she's whispering, "My house, do not fucking raise your voice to me, or it'll be your blood next week."
M is white knuckling Siren's arm.
Siren is licking the dregs of those drops like he tastes good.
We're like,
This might be
we're
the
we're
last chance I have to
moms
drink Bob. He might be dead after this.
Fuck, I'm addicted now. She's gonna
at the
kill him.
pool
Also-
in season 2 of Stranger Things, when Billy comes out for his shift, which is
Also, Kitty definitely sat like crisscross on the floor when she came in. She didn't
That's
Yeah, she
fine.
did.
Yeah,
That's the sort of street
there's
kid.
there's not a single thing that Rebecca Chase would have corrected you on how you want to sit. But you hear her go, "Clean the fucking pool," and you see him like very, like you get the impression this dude has seen some shit. Like he's obviously military. He's obviously probably special forces, maybe even a contractor at some point. And you see him turn just like white. "Yes, Miss Chase. That's what I thought. Now get the fuck up." And he waits for her to move before he collects himself off the fucking floor that she smacked him down to. And sits in his chair. And just sits in his chair and watches the cameras.
A note. The smell of blood that we were smelling
Would have been
Was
far too
that-
strong for that one drop.
for that one drop. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay,
You get the impression that no living person would have been able to smell that.
okay,
However,
okay. As long as it's not, it wasn't that strong. I'm good.
Tune back next episode where Bob hunts me down and murders me.
Bob is Second Inquisition. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Miss Kitty. I appreciate you telling me that. I'll make sure that Bob pays more close attention to cleaning up afterwards.
Kate, she's not. Like she didn't.
Kitty's like, "My bad."
Sorry. Just trying to be nice, and I like, almost got a man killed. It's fine.
Welcome to New Orleans, sweetheart. And
Just
she
a kind.
passes off her empty to her empty Bob shot to
The Bob shot.
James. May I?
James is in the control room. Like,
Okay,
he's
then
not-
she stands up and goes to find a place to put it away her goddamn self because she knows where they keep the mini bar things. She grew up fancy.
Yeah.
So
you
she
walk
does
into a resplendent dining room
Mhm.
and kitchen area.
Mm-hmm.
Still very homey. Like human homey.
I find that so weird.
Yeah,
And like, why does a kindred need a kitchen? Like, why does this look like it has been used, kind of thing?
does
Like,
she care about her human staff?
you don't know.
Hmm.
She literally did just slap the ever living dog shit out of one
I
because he left
mean,
a drop of blood on the concrete.
That
but,
doesn't mean she doesn't care.
No.
But you walk in and there's what you would expect to find: a dining room and a kitchen. You know, you can leave it next to the sink or wash it yourself and put it up or whatever. I don't know what you want to do with it, but
I'm gonna wash it my goddamn self.
okay. You wash the
When's the
there
last time
is
Siren did dishes?
Last week
At
she gets
least-
really, really stressed. Every now and then Hammy comes downstairs and she's just like doing chores. She's like, "Leave me the fuck alone. It's fine."
and so you everyone else hears water running from inside the kitchen very quickly.
Oh my god, she just became the wife in the pregnant wife in Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go wash something. Like, she doesn't use dishes. She's just like, Hammy, what did you eat? Are you done? Can I? Thank you.
And so when you come back into the room, there's nothing that you missed. Like, you see that for everyone still in the room, you see that Rebecca Chase, like as she walks back in from her pimp slap, sits back down. She puts on her rings again. You see her sit, and she kind of looks at the fireplace and just kind of waits. And then Siren, when you come back in, she goes, James is going to be printing you off some passes for staff, senior level executives. You'll have the complete run of the Hard Rock. James is head of security there as well. I don't know what you expect to find, but the Hard Rock is yours.
To be fair, I don't think we know what to find either.
She looks kind of confused for a second. Not at what you said, Kitty, but after she said, the Hard Rock is yours. Can I ask a question to the original coterie? No offense, Kitty, but this is a decision you were a part of. Why didn't you choose the Hard Rock instead of Le Save?
Well, we don't have a lot of expertise running hotels and casinos, and I thought maybe that would be a bit much for us to take on, considering, we kind of went through a very big life change a couple of weeks prior anyway.
And she nods and she goes, knowing your business acumen and level of which you can actually accept is good. That's very mature of all of you.
Also, something to be said about debts and what the size and to whom you owe them.
She smiles. You would have owed my sire a considerable debt. This is true.
He would have owed your sire a considerable debt. Remember, you picked him for a reason. He wanted to prove himself.
Are you talking about Addison would have owed?
Mm-hmm.
We all signed it.
Yeah.
We all would have signed that one too.
One of them is also much more high profile. if for no other reason, then it's much more likely for us to have somehow accidentally made some sort of fuck up that was a masquerade breach in a Hard Rock rather than at a bar.
Not that we would.
No, but
she nods,
Not that
and
we'd
she's-
pull fire out at any given moment or
nope,
anything.
we would never, and we have never.
Can I
She
ask
goes,
a question?
It was still my hope that Addison would take over the Hard Rock when he was seen fit to.
And if we find him, maybe he will.
Hopefully when you find him. But my sire is no longer a part of the equation. So you have run of the Hard Rock. Go ahead.
You have my condolences, by the way. I don't think we've ever said.
That's appreciated. He was the biggest cocksucker of all of New Orleans, though. So it's the world. And I know that people say this about their parentals sometimes. I really mean that the world is a better place without him. I unstaked multiple people from his gallery that realistically are very beneficial to me and very happy that I've done so.
Where did he live?
He lived at the Venture Tower.
Do you know
We
what
never gave a
floors?
name to the Venture
Of course
Tower.
you did.
Yeah, of course. I was on the 15th floor and he was on the 23rd through the 25th.
I'm assuming that's the Hard Rock, right?
No, it was not the Hard Rock. It is a
different place.
it's you guys visited it at the very beginning, but it's a like a venture capitalist building. It's just
We didn't. We never met the Venture.
you all did not, but the camera did. The game did, because Addison had to go present himself.
Yeah.
And do his schooling and teachings of you are now venture. This is
And
your
also,
lineage. Blah, blah,
I
blah.
think that's where he made the $10,000 deal for his immortal soul.
In his boxers, in his silken boxers.
To be fair, this is a point of note, whether or not you guys would have reacted to it or not. This is the first time you knew for a fact that
Quartermain was her.
Well, that Quartermain was her sire.
That was my question that I like put in the thingy, but I didn't want to interrupt because I was like, I don't think we've ever heard that.
No,
that she was a direct descendant of the.
Oh yeah, you asked that 1 minute ago. Did we know that Rebecca? You would have not have known. Addison would have.
Sure.
But that like you had multiple generations of Venture living in New Orleans is like. Essentially with Addison, that's 3 generations of Venture in the city. Everybody else has their own generation, with the exception of you and your sires.
Sure.
You all are starting legacies. Realistically, with the way that the blood works, probably not going to be able to continue the legacy. But the fact that there was a 400-year-old Venture living in New Orleans, because you know roughly all the sires were right around like 200 to 250 years old, with the prince being on the lower end of that. So when you all go to the Hard Rock, what are you expecting to search for? I'm not asking you what do you expect to find, but is there anything that we can help facilitate? There's only so many doors that a Primogen of the Venture can open, and if they're not able to be bought with money, there's not much that we can do with our skill set.
As far as the Hard Rock goes, I think that the security passes should be enough.
Camille's age hasn't been released, but you know that he is the youngest of the sires. He's also the youngest prince in history, and he's roughly, even with that, probably about 150 to 175 years old.
Yeah.
Could be younger. With the release of the big boom of episode or campaign 1 of, oh, you mean 9/11 was when he was turned?
Yeah.
But he holds himself and has knowledge of his blood is strong enough to not have been 2011 or 2001. We will put it that way.
Are we able to, I assume that nobody's going to stop us from getting information such as room logs and things that I'm sure that you've already searched through?
With these, you would have the same security abilities and permissions as Mr. L.L. Rice himself. And she kind of looks over to James. Louis Lestat Rice owns the Hard Rock.
Anytime someone says that name, Kitty literally has to stop herself from laughing every single time.
She picks up on that. She goes, it's kind of funny.
It's very funny, and I think it's very silly, but very good.
Is there anything I can do? I have James. This is one of his main tasks, other than monitoring the city. But to be honest, while I'm not losing hope, I don't know where to go from here. And you all have now found not only just where I was before, but you found a new step where I've, after so many months of just my location and Claiborne Inc., I stopped looking there.
Are you guys still tracking his cell phone currently?
Of course.
Do you guys have evidence of his location being spoofed at the Hard Rock that you could show us?
No, that's what we're saying is that
Even currently?
we stopped monitoring his cell phone other than just text transmissions because locational data was just continuously being spoofed. We can have James continuously look and see if the Hard Rock is still being shown up.
Or can you just look at recently to see if that's the case?
Can you
James,
see, like,
and James
day or
goes on it.
Also, while you're at it, something is occurring to me. Can you make it look like our phones were not here? Because
Your phones did not exist here.
Good, because if somebody, my thought process is, if somebody is watching you, if someone knows you're looking for him, there's a possibility that you being...
and James comes out. He goes, well, okay, let me stop you. Your phones never entered into the premises. Your phones are still out on the street. However, you've been on the street this entire time.
Can you make it look like we're somewhere else?
Yes.
I'm just saying, I don't want to draw it. Maybe they
It wouldn't
started...
be retroactive, but yes.
Maybe they wanted to, maybe somebody is watching you watch them. Maybe somebody's watching you watch Addison. You can't be the only one in town who's good at this, or you would have found them already. So, just in case, maybe not letting them know we're on track and picking up where you left off.
Where would you like it to be rerouted to? Know that it's not going to be a permanent fix without using our equipment, and 2, it's not retroactive, so you would have been on the street for the last 45 minutes. We can make it look like you've now left.
Yeah,
for a
just in
period of
case.
up to 6 to 8 hours. But okay, where would you like to go to?
Jace mentions a 24-hour coffee shop.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, I miss coffee.
I'm
And
just...
James goes, he takes down the name, he searches on his phone to get the address, and actually hands it off. Can I have your phones, please?
I hand up my BlackBerry.
Your raspberry.
He looks at it and goes, I believe you should be fine, but
It's
we'll
just
do
a
this.
carton of blueberries.
Yeah.
No one's tracking my phone. My phone doesn't even
So-
have tracking.
So side note, the way that this works is that your phone depends on your depending on your provider, you either use like GSM or like GSM 900 or 1800, the frequency in which your phone transmits on. So you could have like a Nokia and still be traced. I don't know why people think this, like, oh, I've got a Nokia burner phone. No one can ever find me. Yes, they can. They just have to have your phone number.
Yeah.
And then it's a whole thing. Then you have to have your equipment identifier. Sorry, this is what I did for a decade. So he takes your phones and he actually takes them back to the command center. They pop open. They actually check the serial numbers on the back of them. And a couple minutes later, they have all the information. And he goes, you'll still be here for the next 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how long it takes. And then you will it's going to look like you moved very quickly. And I mean, quicker than is humanly possible. But if they're kindred watching it, they're just going to accept that you've used your all gifts. But you'll be in the coffee shop in about 45 minutes, at least at the residence. You'll be pinging off the tower that's nearest by to them. But you only have about 6 to 8 hours after that you'll be picked up there before you're immediately picked up to whatever tower you're closest to. And there will be no travel time at that point. There's nothing I can do at that point. 6 to 8 hours, you'll immediately ping back to your nearest tower instantaneously, as if you would have turned your phone off and turned it back on.
Jace did we hear any of the conversation between Rebecca Chase? Like, were they being quiet enough for just them to hear it?
When they stopped and Rebecca wanted to have a private conversation, she would have whispered so lowly that
Got it.
you guys wouldn't have been able to hear her. Only she would have been. If Jem would have, regardless of Jem, whispered and like matched that energy.
But Rebecca Chase said Second Inquisition before we left, or before she got up and walked away, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jace is trying to go over, and I know that this is like something that theoretically we would have been taught about, but also he's just going over the list of Catholic churches in the area and trying to think of which ones are large enough and might have large enough connections to be somewhere that the Second Inquisition would be housed or housing themselves. And then that does not have to be a thing that you have to give me a list of places, but that is what Jace is doing during all of this.
I was just making sure. You have the Cathedral Basilica of St. Louis, King of France, also called the St. Louis Cathedral, which it's in the French Quarter. It is who owns St. Louis 1 and 2. That is the largest cathedral. Well, St. Louis 1, 2, 3, all of them. But there are 3 large Roman Catholic churches in New Orleans. There are a few other smaller churches, but like as far as like cathedrals that have been around since 1718. So a huge presence that wasn't washed away with Katrina, even though you know that once the kindred died off or moved or hid, so did a lot of the money coming into the Second Inquisition, and then they're also returning. If they're here now, they haven't had a presence here or haven't been active here.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, he's just trying to clock away information for other leads that they might be able to follow up on.
So for the players and everybody in chat, regardless of the fact that this is a homebrew world, basically if it can be searched on Google, it exists.
Wonderful.
Because that's the information that I'm going to have to pull from. Now, the good thing about that is the players won't know, oh, well, this has been home to the Second Inquisition, because in our world it doesn't exist like that. So it's like, yeah, you found this residence on Zillow because it would have been there.
Yeah.
And Rice really liked New Orleans. So but yeah, there are multiple large Catholic cathedrals, and with that being so historic, yeah, there's probably still a lot of money coming in from the Vatican of maintenance and keeping it going.
Got it.
But very quickly, James comes back and says he hands not a stack of papers, but like 3 or 4 papers over to Rebecca Chase, and she looks up to all of you. She goes, so when did Addison last go to his signal last come up off the Hard Rock?
Were we told?
You weren't exactly told.
We
but
just knew it was ping there.
You got like last 48 hours of information from the Smirks.
Okay.
So you would know it was
the last 2 days.
She hands you a stack of papers, which is when you look over it, it's just the phone number. You see 2 different sets of numbers next to the phone number. You don't know what they really correlate to, but you get locational data, and it's locational data for the last like 3 weeks. None of it says the Hard Rock.
I was worried about that. Okay.
We also asked my detective to track it. We'll see if he
Okay.
comes up with the same. He hasn't gotten
Yeah.
back to us yet.
Yeah.
If he does not come up with the hard rock, either they have information that even the Ventru don't, or they are fucking with us.
Yeah. But that is exactly why Jace asked.
That's why we put so many. Thank you. That is
Yep.
why we put so many irons in the fire. You ask them all the same thing, and see who comes up with something different. One of these things is not like the other, and that thing will die. Like.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight it or ego. No.
Siren has a detective ghoul that was sent to by her parents to come find her. So she has now ghouled him and made him her operative instead.
And because he's a ghoul, he's also not going to be able to lie to me. He's addicted. He's aware things are going on. It's going to be a lot harder for him to hide shit from me, I feel like, than anyone else.
He can try to lie to you. He can try to go against your will, but it's a willpower check for a mortal.
Yeah. He can try.
Yeah.
I have 90 luck points and a really good scores in general.
Yeah, he would need. It would almost have to be like supernatural for him to say no to you after as much blood as you pumped into him.
Yeah.
It'd be like Fred telling Kitty no.
Never in his life.
It's not really gonna
I
happen.
hate
He can say the words, but he cannot actually follow up.
I gave him a shark and made Victor lie to him for me.
True. At this point, Victor is now delivering a little baby shark from
Oh,
Chinatown to the back alley kitty.
Hell yeah.
I
That's
love
just
it
in his
so
job
much.
description now.
I love it so much.
Just murder this guy, track on this guy, bring Fred fish.
Excuse me. Like, it is, I feel like a mark of how much Victor likes her. That he's like, fine. He's like,
Right.
this is beneath him. This is,
I
but he's
suppose.
doing it anyway.
Yeah, he can't speak to Fred. Fred's talking, but unfortunately, no one's there to hear it because the camera's with the players.
He's
Guys, I
the
have a
dire
weird
of a sad
feeling
cat.
That I
He's
need to go see my cat right now.
He's dear diary. They have left me once again in the alley. I fear I shall die here, or murder all of them. I'm plotting my revenge. Like, that's Fred.
Fred
Like,
doesn't care. Like,
wants
Victor's
to
the one writing in his diary. Yet again,
they have sent me on a
find
menial
myself-
task.
I find myself being a former Alistair, mercenary, hunter of hunters, and now I'm a fish deliveryman.
Someone message Cody right now,
talking
I
about
need
this
that
fucking
diary.
shark in an alleyway.
Just look down this cat. This is definitely a shark. I don't know if he can hear me.
So
I would like to request now that the creature NPC slice of life episode, the only coterie member is Victor. And it's
Okay.
Cody having to deal with
Absolutely.
all of us as those animal
So-
NPCs.
So in our Muppets only Oops All Muppets episode,
Yes.
Yes.
the only
There's one human.
Cody
Yeah.
is the only human-esque character.
Yep.
I'm here
Yep.
for it.
Yep.
But I want
Same.
you all to play the other animals, and Cody has to play Victor.
Yes,
Okay.
oh, obviously,
I'm just
yes.
like, I
Fucking
can't
yes.
kill you. You're a squirrel.
I'm
but
gonna
like,
ghoul- I'm gonna ghoul a black cat and a very big dog. Those are my next two.
Dibs
Still
on the
waiting
big
for
dog.
Jace
I
to
want to
have
play
a
the big dumb
black
dog.
cat.
I want to play a big, stupid, fucking bull mastiff who just wants to love people.
Tibetan Mastiff.
That's on my
Um,
list.
So while she handed the paperwork over, she goes, "I have to ask, where did you get the hard rock from? If you won't give me up your
Didn't you
source,
already ask?
I did.
You of all
But-
people know how important it is to keep those relationships close. If it becomes relevant, we will tell you. But right now, it is not.
And she looks over to Jace. Jace, what would it take for you to ward, you and Iris, to ward the hard rock?
Time and lots of blood. Or are you trying to make a deal? Or was that a
I-
theoretical or a deal?
I know enough about the Tremir's practices as they are, but specifically you and Iris. And you
And again, is this a deal or a theoretical? Because my answers will be different.
preferably a deal that we can work on, because once it's warded, you'll have to redo it time and time again, I would assume.
You want us to draw up some paperwork and we can send it by with a proposal?
Especially involving another party, I wouldn't want to posture about what somebody else may or may not be willing to do. And
The fact that you said that into the green screen bar where we can see nobody. Matthew is talking to ghosts.
It's the ghost.
Fuck you, ghosts aren't real. Matthew has one in his room.
But that is definitely a deal that can be worked on. I'm already starting to come up with some ideas, but that's definitely a project that can be thought about, and we can come up with something, but I would need to discuss it with the other theorized business partner. You're muted.
Kind of like pats her leg for a second. And she goes, well, I don't know if it was Addison or the prince or just good upbringing in general, but I can respect that.
Pats her leg, like, come sit on my lap?
Like, well done. Like, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like she's doing a golf clap using her leg in her hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not like Santa.
He says, I don't know if it was any of those. It may just be paranoia. But regardless, I will come to you with further information when I have it.
Now, mind you, I don't trust the Tremere.
Join the club. I don't know if a single Tremere trusts the rest of the Tremere, no matter who they are affiliated with.
I have been told by fellow Primogen that if I'm going to request anything of the Tremere, that I should only work with Iris and those that she associates with. So,
who were you told that by?
And she looks to Siren, Toreador, Primogen, Vegas.
You the only one?
The only Toreador that I would speak to.
The only Primogen that told you this.
Yes. Doesn't come up very often
Interesting. Okay.
Of which to. Realistically, we're all talking shit about the Tremere, and Vegas only had kind words to say about Iris.
Okay. Got it.
So, I would like to propose a deal that if you won't tell me who is giving you false information, that when you are ready to tell me, that you bring them to the Hard Rock after the wards are in place, and we can test out certain wards on anybody who would be disrespectful enough to my progeny's memory to not facilitate a very quick recovery of any information, whether he is alive, whether he's dead, and who has him.
The proposed deal will be considered, and a counter deal will be brought back. He looks around at the rest of them. Am I doing this right?
She kind of nods. Just.
I think it's safe to say if we find somebody is giving us false information with ill will in their hearts, we have a lot of things we will want to do to them. For now, I think we're all on the same side in that we all just want to find him. Don't you agree?
You all have Primogen that you are responsible to, if not progeny of. And you also have the prince. I would expect that if any information was given to you under false pretenses, that you would take it up with them before making any actions of your own. please do not step in waters that you all cannot swim in.
There are waters that we can't swim in. We will be sure to get floaties.
I love business, Jace. Just like I will continue spouting this bullshit until basically you get the impression she's telling you like, hey, let your sires know.
Yes.
Yes. Because we'll kill them for you.
Yeah.
She won't just
We
plain out
want to
say,
be big boys and girls.
yeah, she won't plain out say in front of the kind that she will murder fucking everybody and burn the city to the ground.
I think it's unspoken. I think they know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also,
I mean,
Bob
one
has a handprint on
Yeah,
his
shade
face.
spot.
Like,
he very much does. He very much does.
Yeah.
There was a squeal on the microphone when she slapped him.
Oh no. On the throat mic.
Yeah, on the throat mic.
okay, but I accidentally hit someone there once during a show, I just have to say, because I was trying to avoid his
bitch.
microphone, and so I hit him too low, and I did throat slap him by accident.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it hurts.
Jeff, if you ever end up watching this somehow. I'm still sorry about that. It was in college, but I still feel shitty.
You can 100% make somebody pass the fuck out by punching them in the neck.
I don't
Um,
hit that hard. I like to
Doesn't
think I
take a
do.
lot.
Oh,
Doesn't take a lot.
to know.
6 pounds of pressure. But she's going to stand up and walk over to James and collect some passes. And she passes out 4 executive staff passes, and she hands one to each of you. The only thing that might draw attention is attire. However, dress how you would like, as long as you can facilitate a reason for you. And she looks at Kitty, to look like you would just destroy everyone with your motorcycle. So if you find anything, let me know.
We are listed as VIPs or executives.
Executive staff.
Executive staff. So we're not like I can't
You're not
pretend like we're the
guests.
band. Okay, got it. Understood.
Yeah, you're not guests.
Helpful.
You have authority over every person that works there.
Do we have to do a makeover episode with Kitty? Because Siren hates it, but she
No.
knows how to do it.
We don't. No, we don't. Are you serious?
Kitty and Siren look like motorcycle chicks, and maybe they wouldn't own a hard rock. Like,
Yeah, but you know what they would do? Like, they're the people that are. We're trying to justify why hard rock is still cool and edgy.
What?
Wow.
whatever reason you guys want to give, she just
Whenever
advising.
Chase says that, Kitty like looks at her like fur coat that is definitely needs to be washed. Like, oh come on, man, I look great.
It's a fur coat that's been in the wildlife refuge for a month now.
Ooh, it's
It's
dinky.
not.
It's a little rough.
a little rough. It needs a
Um,
wash. She understands.
Wait, what time of year is it right now?
It
It was
is
just recently Mardi Gras,
Mardi Gras.
right?
Yeah. So we're almost like you're only like a week after Mardi Gras at this
Oh
point.
my god, are you serious? No, we were at Electric Daisy. Oh my god.
Because we have the money
Yeah.
to go to EDC.
Yeah, we were at
We were
Electric
at
Daisy.
Electric Daisy.
I have no idea what the fuck that is.
Yeah, we were pre-gaming for Coachella. Oh my god, we were so excited.
Oh, okay. I know.
It's
what
an
you're
EDM
saying.
music festival that's in Orlando, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's in Orlando.
Yeah,
one.
it is.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
We
those are
drove by there
definitely-
once, and I was like, "What is the pretty like?" There's like a
It's like
fairground. I have a
psychedelic
thing about.
Burning Man.
I have a thing about
Yes.
fairgrounds, and I was like, "It's pretty," and Cody goes, "No," and I was like, "Why?" He was like, "No, just trust
No.
me," and I was
look
like,
away,
"But."
baby girl.
But everything
away.
lights up and glows, and there's bubbles, and there's rides. That's everything I
I
love. Like,
I want to take Pixie to a rave real bad one day.
you'd have to put me on a leash,
No
cat.
drugs.
You'd have to put me on a child leash, because I'd get lost. I don't need drugs. I would just be distracted by everything. I'd be like, oh
I
my
have
god, everything's
a
shiny.
leash.
Fuck.
It would be
Oh.
very overwhelming. I think.
It would be very overwhelming.
I don't have a
That's-
child leash,
yeah.
but
I like
have-
that Sway goes,
Hey,
no
oh.
drugs. Like, he's like, insistent. He knows. I would just die. Or get lost
yes,
forever.
yes, you would, because nothing that's at this. Never mind, we're not talking about
Yeah.
this right now. So,
I once walked away during a bar to get pizza, and now I have bells on my ankle, so that Ryan never loses me again. That's how that works.
So she's politely telling you to leave.
Yes.
She's giving you all the tools that you might need for the hard rock. where is your next plan of action before we go to break?
Kitty starts to leave out the back door, jump over the fence again, realizes that rude, and goes.
Kitty, this is that.
My
Never mind.
so Matthew's instincts are wait to go to the Hard Rock until we hear from the detective. Just
Yeah.
because I want to be able to verify at least one of the two pieces of information. And that maybe we start looking at, like, seriously looking into the Second Inquisition. Because it's been a thread that we've had kind of dangling in front of us for a while, and with the very real possibility that Addison has been taken by the Second Inquisition, my instinct is that we maybe start getting some of that information now while we wait on the detective.
Okay.
But that's also like Matthew and Jace's ideas. That's not necessarily like what we need to be doing. If anybody else has any ideas.
I feel like with Jim's latest thing, we should get more information on Second Inquisition before just storming the castle, you know?
My thing is I want to find Addison. I want to get that dealt with. However, both Siren and Pixie's instinct are fairly strongly, if whoever it was, if either he's really at the Hard Rock or whoever it was started putting him fake looking like he was at the Hard Rock only after Rebecca stopped looking, we need to maybe not look like we're looking.
Well,
like we need to distance ourselves for a minute.
We also have information from the last 3 weeks.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like we can. My point is like, let's not go to the Hard Rock tonight. Let's maybe breathe and like give it a couple of days, and
The Hard
then
Rock-
like you know.
Yeah.
So the Hard Rock in New Orleans closes at 9. I'm assuming that's because it's pandemic.
Same.
Yeah, the Hard Rock in Orlando closes at midnight. So we're going to assume that all Hard Rocks close at midnight.
Because in a world without the
Um,
pandemic, that is when they would have closed, or with the pandemic, because Orlando didn't change a goddamn thing.
As we
So.
say, because Orlando doesn't care. It doesn't.
Fuck
believe
you,
it's real,
Ron DeSantis.
So,
Free
yeah,
of-
fucking
free
leave
of
Disney
midterm,
alone.
baby.
Yeah,
Vote him the fuck out because Reedy Creek
Yes,
needs
please.
to still be a thing.
we can have a break. Like when we break, we can sit here and talk.
No,
shit
no,
about-
I have to go get
DeSantis.
alcohol during break.
I might do the same thing.
Same.
I have to get an alcohol. One alcohol, please.
So we're going to fast forward travel to the to Les Ave.
Mhm.
You guys are going. We're going when we come back from break. We're going to be. It's roughly about midnight at this point. If you would like to go to the Hard Rock, we will factor in time to include that. However, we will take you back to HQ, allow you to talk. Before we do that, with no additional dice being able to be rolled, I would like the original Coterie members, Siren, Jace, and Gem, to roll a wits awareness of events that transpired tonight.
No luck dice allowed. Got it.
Can I just roll how much fun I'm having?
Yes, 100%. You can add as many luck dice as you want to that.
I would like to add 32 luck dice. to this
Please do.
roll.
Tell me you're having all the fun. Sorry, y'all crit failed, Sway. You suck.
Okay. I am nervous.
3 successes.
Okay.
I got 4 successes on my fun check.
Highland Kitty's living her goddamn
I
life.
want to know, what did you roll for fun?
What do you
did
think
roll?
fun is?
I just rolled my last roll that I had.
Okay.
Honestly,
Kitty rolled for fun.
I rolled for fun. I got a crit success and 2 successes, so it's good.
6 successes.
6 successes. Okay. Gem.
A success and then a crit fail. So
Okay. So Jace.
Jace, save us.
What did Siren get?
I only get to
3?
roll 5 dice and I got 3 out of 5, so not bad
That's not
math.
bad.
Like,
No,
but
that's
that's
not
like
bad.
all I
only
got.
have
I was
3.
looking for 5 or better. I was looking
Well,
for 5
fuck
or
you.
better.
I'm useless.
Now,
No.
the reason Kitty I didn't ask you to roll is because in season 1, Addison gave information away without realizing that he did. Away a business card that had his phone number, business location, everything else like that. Jace, when you're traveling back through Siren's meat wagon of cars,
Gross.
um,
I said
Her-
meat wagon.
her Oscar Mayer mobile of dick all the way back to Les Ave.
That's
You
just
start
how I
thinking about
travel
that.
everywhere.
you start thinking about Addison and how, yes, we're
Fucking
looking for
annoying
Addison,
he is.
and we want to find him because it could potentially be a risk for Kindred, or at least the coterie, or just fucking need to find this dude because.
We make Jem happy.
But God, he was fucking stupid. Remember that time he gave the Nosferatu like all his fucking information?
Yeah.
Might as well just handed him a cell phone. And that's when it clicks that all four of you gave the Ventru Primogen, head of security.
Where?
Okay.
I'm
All the cell phone.
aware.
You gave
I
them
was very reluctant, but I was like, no,
You
I don't
gave him
want to
whose
make
cell
a
phone?
scene because I'm going to be
all
getting
of
a new
yours,
one.
all of your cell phones.
Yeah. Like and that was
Out of all the
was gonna be
talk of-
something that
Out of all the
Matthew
talk
brought
of like,
up
yeah.
whenever we got back to HQ that we maybe needed to all get new phones.
Out of
Wait a
all the
minute. When
discussion
did we do that?
Whenever
When-
we asked them
Please
to our
spoof our addresses,
Which-
everyone. When you said
which is a-
Kitty
which
just
was
gives
a
a
good
box of
idea.
blueberries.
like, to be fair, was a very good idea, but then he asked for our phones and I went, God damn it, I don't want
When you said
Wait,
Kitty
what?
just gives an actual box of blueberries,
20 minutes ago when I.
You've been saying Ventru, and I've been hearing Nosferatu. this
Oh,
Oh, no,
okay,
no.
you're good.
No.
When were they here?
What the fuck are you talking
the
about?
fact that Addison gave
I
the
was
Nos,
here.
Yeah.
the fact that Addison gave the Nos his business card might as well have been handing him a cell phone,
Yeah.
like you all did to the Venture Primogen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, what were we supposed to do? Tell her no in her home?
And that's
Well,
exactly what Matthew and Jace's reasonings were, but also that's why I was going to bring it up once we got back to HQ that maybe we all get new phones.
So we're going to take a quick break while all of your cell phones are currently getting coffee. I advise everyone else to get some foodage, get some alcohol, get some hydration. If you are going to get alcohol, if you're not going to get alcohol, get some hydration as well. And we will see you guys here soon. So yeah, so she kills all of you
Yeah.
guys. And oh, sorry.
That's absolutely fair.
Nice.
I asked for
Listen.
this. This is how I wanted to go.
We've
That's-
asked for her to step on us for
So
how
many
long?
times, Sway.
I will say I'm very surprised that Kitty didn't ask, why does your pool smell like blood?
You know what? I really, really wanted to, but also I've been told I need to behave myself in front of Primogen, so I just very much
leave some
didn't say anything.
mystery to the romance.
Because also,
you know what I mean?
I try really not to draw attention to myself in front of important people because they'll start asking me questions and then I can't lie. That's a bad thing.
Listen,
Well-
she now has our cell phones. She's hacking them. We can just ask.
Well, I will
So-
say, like, you guys have a very different relationship with the Primogens and the hierarchy than what's to be expected. Most of that comes from Jem being literally the progeny of the prince. And then some of you guys just had the right sire at the wrong fucking time.
Some of us wandered in and
And
got
Kitty
put
just like,
here.
yo, bitches, I'm here.
Also, I think one of the other reasons why I'm glad that we didn't ask about the smell is so that next time whenever we come breaking in because Rebecca Chase did it, we can find out then.
It'll be way more
leaving-
fun and
we're
raw.
leaving some more
Addison
stuff
is
open
in that
for
pool,
next time.
crucified.
Conversation starter. It's
Yeah.
a conversation starter. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, we'll just see the cross, like, because we didn't actually look into the pool, so we didn't see the cross with
We didn't see
Addison on it.
That
It's
is
actually
exactly
holy
what
water.
is
Yeah.
the mosaic at the bottom of the pool.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's not an actual hot tub, but when you toss a vampire in there, it starts to boil and bubble and
Oh my
Exactly.
god.
So
Why
basically,
are you
our
like
goal
this?
is to get invited to Rebecca Chase's annual pool party. It's the new goal.
Oh my god, when we do, we have to get her like a sign to put above it that just it says Hotto Potto.
Please.
I changed my mind. We're not
New
back from
goal.
break.
It's
We're
just
not back from
time.
break. I've
It's
changed my
just
mind.
Time in there.
I love your
It's
hot pot. I
just
mean,
fine.
bathtub. I mean,
Because no kindred goes in that hot tub because it's
That's
hot.
kind. That's why it's Hotto Potto.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Oh,
Because
it's
It's a hot pot place
hot pot.
called
Hot
Hottopoto.
pot is a type. It's
It's a
I
Chinese-
think it's-
Korean.
It's from
Yes.
China.
I think. Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yes.
But it's
They do it in
basically
Korea,
like
so I apologize.
boiling broth that you can stick vegetables and raw meat into
Oh.
to cook it.
It's like melting
yeah,
pot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
it's kinda
cook it there
it's
at the
kinda like
table.
fondue, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do they do meat there?
Yeah.
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 Is that- okay, yeah, that's so weird. I don't like boiled meat.
It's like works really well for like shrimp.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it done. I'm
and
like, that looks
surprisingly small
Really good.
pieces of steak.
Yeah,
Like it cooks it really well.
it's really
Okay.
good.
It's
Yeah.
delicious. I love melting pot and hot pot places. But yeah, that's
yeah.
Put
So
scallops
we,
in mine. Scallops are really good in it.
Scallops are pretty good.
Oh my god, you guys
Yeah,
want to play
we did it.
vampires now?
Sorry,
no.
yeah.
I want to talk
Hey,
about
Dad.
food. What's wrong
So-
with you? I want a
Open my
snack.
beer.
So as the camera fades back in, we see the coterie sitting around one of the VIP tables upstairs with the documents that Rebecca Chase gave Jem, the tracking data for Addison's cell phone over the last, what it was, 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and is sitting around the table as they all kind of stare at it and look at each other. I turn it over to you guys.
Two thoughts. Before we get deep into this. Mainly one thought. We all need new cell phones.
Yeah. But we need to keep on using these ones as though we don't have new cell phones. Every now and then.
Why?
Yes.
Because if we just handed them to people who are tracking everything and that room suggests that they are, they'll know we got new cell phones immediately if we just ghost.
And that's fine, they can.
They can, but
As
then
long
that
as they-
encourages them
as
to
long
go,
as they know
yeah, but it's
not-
the same reason I keep Eddie around.
I mean, we can just keep the phones here.
Mm.
Because they're always that. Then we're just at the bar.
I still
I can
think,
Whenever they check.
fly them around.
there you go. I still think what James said is correct, and if that's the way that he plays, that's the way he's going to expect other people to play. If you're trying to keep a pawn on the board, you make it look like it's still on the board. If it just looks
Sure.
like we're always here, they'll know.
I think my thing is less. My desire for new phones is less because I think that although I still have my doubts, but I think it's less that I actively think that Rebecca Chase and the Ventru as a whole have Addison and therefore are going to try and come kill us, and more that I feel less than comfortable with Rebecca Chase knowing where we are.
And that's my point. That's why I suggested that. If she's going to be tracking anything at all, give her something to track that's wrong, just in case. Every now and then.
Well, that's also fair. But
We
I
can
think
just
new
leave our
phones are in
phone. We can
order.
leave our old phones every now and then in one of my cars and have them driving around town. You know, I've
Perfect.
got an army of dick for just this sort of situation.
Exactly. And then second thought. I think we need to really get into gear on paying attention to the Second Inquisition. I know that we've sort of been putting it off because other things have been happening, but I think that might be our next step. Was trying to get a little bit more information. And I know none of us can really go into churches, but I have a couple
Yes,
of
we
people
can.
that I can. Well, kind of.
You know that some kindred can
'Cause
and
you were
well, that
the
most
only-
kindred can.
He was the
And
only
it's-
one who freaked out at the symbol when Victor pulled it, right? The rest
That
of us
was
didn't.
only because it was a stake.
Off camera, he failed a willpower. roll.
Yeah. So if there's a
Yeah.
possibility of us being okay, we could.
Yeah, I know that Siren, you have all of your ghouls, but I also have a couple of people that I can ask about that are theoretically less tied to us, that can go check out the churches during the day to see if they're more active than usual. I don't know.
I know a few people who are really good at getting into places they're not supposed to be.
Okay, perfect.
Do they have 4 legs or 2?
Too.
Hey, Sky, thank you for the raid, love!
Hey,
thank you for the
thank
raid.
you, Sky.
Um,
2 legs.
Whoop, whoop, Sky.
okay, and not kindred. Okay.
Gem
Even
and
better.
Jace. Actually, no, never mind. Continue.
No, what were you gonna say?
hate that.
I think it was because we were locals. It's something about us being
Yeah,
local.
it's because you guys were local. You guys would know some of the local history about churches and stuff like that. Especially with Jace's question earlier about prominent churches in the area. Like, yeah, you have King Louis Cemetery, or not King Louis, but St. Louis Cemetery. 1 and 2 that's owned and operated by the St. Louis Cathedral. But you also have the oldest cathedral in America in New Orleans, the St. Joseph Cathedral.
Oh.
It is the oldest Roman Catholic cathedral in America.
But yeah, I think that before we even step in, that we send some some day walkers, possibly to go check it
Blade?
out. What?
Blade?
Maybe.
Is he real? I thought he was a legend.
I think I have a blade
Dun
in my
dun
phone.
dun. And I think that
Every thin blood ever.
I'm sorry, did you just say I think I have a blade in my room?
In my
phone.
Oh, in your phone.
phone.
She's got a lot of blades in her room. That's where the armory is.
Jim, what exactly, if you don't mind me asking, what did you actually see? And what were you trying to look for that suddenly made you think that he was being held by the Second Inquisition?
Just looking for Addison.
And
And
what did you find?
all I saw was Jesus' arms. I don't know who it was. It wasn't really a cross, but someone was being crucified.
Yeah, it didn't look like Jesus. Like the
It didn't look
He
like
didn't look a
Jesus. It
thing
didn't
like
really look-
Jesus. Did he
Like,
talk like
okay.
a gentleman?
my
so
God. Didn't really look like Addison either. It's just this male figure, but
you get
When I was
sorry, let
thinking
me
of
describe that a
Addison-
little bit.
that's what I got.
You didn't see Addison. You didn't see what's normally considered Jesus, even a less whitewashed version. You I don't want to say overweight. Dad bod black or Middle Eastern man with beard and hair.
Not
Like-
even remotely Addison.
Definitely not Addison. And not the I worked as a carpenter all my life Jesus, black or Middle Eastern.
Okay. But if that's, yeah, I think that your intuition is probably right, though. That if that's where you were looking, what you saw whenever you were looking for Addison, that I think that might be our next steps. When it's not 1 a.m., I can text my people.
Who would you want to text?
Church is closed now anyway.
Hmm?
St. Joe's is closed right now.
No, I know exactly, but also I don't. And he's thinking of Delphine. It's one of his touchstones. And that he's gonna text her. Because they keep in touch a little bit. Not crazy, but a little bit here and there. That he'll ask her that he's super busy, but that he's trying to do a little bit of research. Like he'll come up with something. But that's who he's gonna text. But also it's 1 a.m. So if he's trying to keep up pretenses with Kine, although it's only 1, it's not like it's 5.
Yeah, it's not super late.
I was about to say,
it
who do
depends.
you know who isn't still awake at 1 a.m.? What well-adjusted motherfuckers are these?
It kind of depends. Like you can't go to mass because there's no mass right now. But
Building closes at 12:30. I'm looking
Yeah.
at it right now.
Yeah. Well, no. So he'll actually, yeah, because it's only 1, and that's not abnormal for a person to be awake at. He's gonna pull out his phone and he's gonna text Delphine, and he's the text is gonna read, "Hey, sorry to bug you so late. I'm super busy, but I'm trying to do a little bit of digging, for a project about the whatever the name of the oldest cathedral was.
St. Joseph's.
Thank you. Trying to do a little bit of digging for a project about St. Joseph's. Any chance I could get you to swing by in the next couple of days and just check it out, take some pictures for me, see if it's super busy? Thanks. And I'll send that.
So she texts back, what inside, outside, what kind of project are you working on?
Mostly the inside. I'm doing some research on the artwork and iconography of Catholicism.
Okay, sure.
Not technically a lie either, which is what was beautiful about that.
Did you ask her when you needed it by?
I said in the next couple of days, if possible.
Okay. She
And
goes,
then
yeah, I can do
he'll-
that.
Okay, perfect. And he'll also like keep up, like if she like continues it as a conversation, he will while talking will keep up the pretenses on
She
an
does
actual friendship.
ask to like, hey, we need to go get lunch sometime. We have a lot to catch you up on. Blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
you could like she wants to hang out. Nothing like crazy, just like old times. Like, hey,
Yeah,
haven't seen you in a while. Let's go grab lunch.
Yeah, let's grab dinner sometime. That'd be great. I have a day gig that's keeping me super busy, but we can definitely schedule a dinner.
Oh, totally. Life, right? Did you hear about this pandemic that like tried to hit China and then like was squashed in like a day? It was I'm so glad we didn't have to deal with that shit. This conversation just kind of like fades off after that.
Rip.
Somebody tried to eat a bat, fuck a bat. This is weird. We don't really know. Some government cover up. No one knows.
Wild, am I right?
I want to use my 3 dots in criminal context that I never use.
Hey.
And so I have 3 dots. It means I have like 4 like really good contacts, and, like a
Yes.
couple like and like acquaintances. So I want to text. Her name's Wisteria, who is basically my James, the person who like knows
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
And just basically ask her like, hey, do you know anyone in New Orleans currently who could help me out with something?
And where is he based out of? Where is Wisteria?
Wisteria. She's
Okay.
based out of New York, but like is one of those like super like computer people that like
Okay.
can like organize stuff.
Okay. Do you have her written down?
I don't.
Okay, so write her down.
I will.
Now that we've named and identified, write down Wisteria computer guru.
Now she can be used against you now that she's been identified.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's just more so like
Yeah.
we don't keep creating like 4 dot
Sure.
criminal contacts. She goes, ew, what the fuck is in New Orleans? It's just Katrina aftermath.
Wow.
I stare. At
I don't
my
know
phone.
who Wisteria is or
I
how she'd
stare-
use
No.
Yeah,
a New Yorker who's talking about the hollers of New Orleans.
It's bullshit. That's all it is. I look at my phone and I look back at the group like, I need something that's not a lie, please.
A lot of good clubs down here. Not a lie.
just text back. A life threw me this way is all.
Oh, I had no context for your phone conversation.
Yeah,
So I
like
just something that's not a lie. There's good clubs down here. What the fuck?
Life threw me this way. I need places scouted out for me.
digitally or physically?
Both? Question mark.
Ew. Okay. She sends you a clock emoji and a question mark. Like how long?
I put 1 or 2 days, 24, 48 hours.
Okay. She responds that she can have somebody that's already there. She doesn't know anybody in New Orleans. She can find somebody, but she can't sign off on like experience, like how much
Yeah.
she can't be like, yeah, I've worked with this guy before.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. If you can find me someone, that'd be great. Purple heart, send. You're muted.
Muted.
Is there your contact information, or should they have mine?
Ooh.
Like, do you want to run this through you or her?
Yeah. If you could, please, and thank you.
Okay. And she just gives you a check mark.
Wonderful. All right, we're having someone who can scout out things for us so we don't get murdered.
Perfect. Okay, and I should hopefully have at least some normie information in the next couple of days too.
So.
Well, I'm fucking useless. Apologies.
Oh, you kidding me?
Siren, roll me a wits awareness.
Whoops.
God fucking damn it.
So kept your mouth shut.
I'm just trying to give you ideas because you do have a lot of contacts.
No one I really want to bring into this shit, though.
You have a lot of contacts that would be good for this.
Yes, I do. Fucking 4 successes.
Okay. All of your homeless / VFW / the guys that aren't veteran or not veterans aren't wartime veterans. What is it called? American Legion. All of your VFW, all your American Legion still have ties to the government, still have ties to the military, still have ties to the homeless population that may or may not be connected to the Nosferatu, but different branches kind of things. Like you didn't accidentally pick up a Nosferatu, ghoul to make them your own.
Yeah.
And the Second Inquisition is not only church, but is also government, right?
Yep.
So I thought. So, theoretically.
Fuck.
Yeah. Believers. Whatever.
Yeah.
That means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put feelers out there.
Well, who are you tasking to? So what are you trying to figure out? So Jace was very specific with St. Joe's. Kitty was going to follow that up with other people that can actually get in and look at St. Joe's.
I know what I need to ask. Because they would be the people they would go to. I need to find out if they're recruiting new members.
Okay.
I need to find out if they're recruiting the desperate, if they are preying on, like a cult does, people who seem like they need something to turn to. So I'm going to go to the guys in my crew who came from places like that and are still in contact with people who are recruited for security, are at the bottom end of desperate for something to hold on to since they don't have military or marriage or like whatever they used to have. Yeah. I'm looking for people who are closest to the people who might be targets for that kind of recruitment campaign.
Okay. Jem, I don't know if you're going to put out feelers, but yours would be more of the salt of the earth people with the music, the graffiti. Well, you do and you don't. Like, you still have ex-customers and bartender. Like, you still have Yo-Yo. You still have...
Yo-Yo's a ghoul. And
Yo-Yo is
but she talks to
ghoul.
people.
She is your...
Yeah, so... Yeah.
It's like getting your meal from Siren, but getting your friendship and, like, money from you.
I'm just
saying,
like, she's still a ghoul. And what's-his-face? Jerry is a ghoul. Not mine.
I mean, so are half of these men in the
But also,
group.
the thing with like Yo-Yo is she's a bartender, so she talks to people.
If
there's
anything,
I mean, you can have Yo-Yo keep an ear out. You can ask Jerry to keep an ear out. He's still Nosferatu ghoul.
she's not asking Jerry.
Okay.
She's not asking Jerry.
Can I ask why you're not asking Jerry? Is it just to remind, are you trying to keep him out of everything, or are you just trying to keep the Nosferatu out of it? Okay.
She's not trusting at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, not as much as she was. She her poor little brain is getting scrambled right now. She's not entirely sure who's telling the truth, except for Kitty, and she doesn't know.
Yeah, it's a flaw for Kitty, whether Kitty likes to think it's a boon or not. Not being able to lie as a Kindred it's a flaw. I'm sorry.
No.
Surprisingly enough, go ahead, Jace. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, piggybacking off of Siren's thing with like with that sort of thing. I also realizing that where Delphine works, I'm gonna ask and see if anybody's been scouting out the women's shelters for like
Fair.
if anybody's trying to do conversion campaign, basically the same
Yeah.
thing, but just a different branch of where that might be reaching out to. He's gonna
Okay.
ask Delphine to keep an eye out for that because it's for the same project.
She goes, so while everybody's brainstorming and Kitty's sending out her texts and Siren is sending hers and Jason's sending out his, sorry.
Other one.
You all three, well, Siren and Jace, you both get, the conversation is still going. Jace, you find out that there is a new organization trying to clean up the streets in a good way, not as get these homeless off the street, but a new shelter that has both a women and children shelter as well as a men's shelter. So the women and children shelter is the Mother Mary Women and Children's Refuge, and the men's shelter is Joseph Our Father's Rescue.
Seems like a good fucking place to start, don't you think?
And Jace, everything you get from Delphine sounds like, thankfully they're finally trying to do something for battered women and children that isn't like government run. It's actually ran by the church. It's not, our local politician's trying to do something. Like there's money coming in because of how old New Orleans is. There's money coming in from they don't know if it's coming in from the Vatican, but they know
From a church organization.
Yeah, different states are actually sending money to help boost this. As kind of a, hey, Katrina hit, all these people are homeless and starving, or trying to keep people from looting and pillaging the city and giving them a place to feel comfortable and safe and reevaluate and restart their lives. Siren, you get word back that a lot of the from the Father Joseph's rescue, that they actually do have the people who can verify military credentials, as they put them up with security events throughout the city, and they help run the actual they're the ones behind the line feeding the other homeless and other veterans. And you have a couple ghouls that actually, you have two ghouls that respond to you that they actually help there on the weekends.
I do some probing and ask how one might get involved with helping or donating to the charitable cause or all those things to try to because philanthropy seems safer to go in as someone who wants to help rather than someone who wants to investigate.
Absolutely.
Your ghouls are immediately, the two that you're responding to that are your ghouls immediately go, you shouldn't go, and smile with the big teeth, doesn't do the vampire emotes, but you shouldn't go, church bad, right? You get that feel from the emojis.
And I tell them, maybe not in person, but are there other ways I can help? Also, can I pay you guys enough that you're not fucking feel the need to be here?
You get the impression that all you have to do is kind of show up and volunteer wholeheartedly and sincerely your time, and
luckily I have a human ghoul who can do that for me during the day as well, who's an investigator. I'll maybe just call Eddie later.
Well, you have two people that are
in there. I know
it already.
I know. Yeah. I worry about them slipping up though, so I don't want to. I'm gonna ask them after when are you guys both there next?
It's gonna be Saturday.
Saturday night after you're done. Let's go out for a drink.
And they go, Saturday night is when we're feeding.
How late is it usually open?
Till midnight.
Saturday midnight after you're done. Let's go out for a drink.
Okay. Now this is roughly Friday. Mm-hmm. So this will be tomorrow night.
Sure.
for this specifically.
Yes, Kitty.
Oh,
ahead,
yes.
Siren.
Sorry, go.
You're muted.
This is Kitty when you say, "Oh, Saturday night." She goes, "We have a Nosferatu party Saturday night. We got invited."
Oh my god, you're adorable. Holy
I
shit.
forgot about that.
Fuck.
The gem celebration kind of deal is going on Saturday night.
I don't know what dates are in real life. You fucking expect me to remember them in the game. That is nothing personal. That is me not
Accurate.
remembering dates in real life.
No, I wasn't planning on that. It was
I
just
got invited by Yo-Yo, not that one, a different one.
yeah. My whole thing was like I wasn't planning on that being like a. Which one do you go to? It was like
No,
they
we
feed
can do
every-
both. I can
every
have
night.
buy
Actually,
a
to be fair,
drink.
you can have them come over. You can have them come over now, because it is after midnight and they feed every night. Like
Yes.
people aren't just hungry on Saturdays.
Yes, I would like to have time to invite Vegas into this conversation, though. And I
Okay,
don't know that
yeah.
he's available right now, and we don't have new cell phones yet. So I don't want to text him on this phone and say, "Hey, my dude."
Why don't
mean,
you borrow Yo-Yo's
You've been
phone?
doing all of these texts on y'all's old phones, so I don't think it much matters if.
Yeah. Are you
These
trying to
texts,
set up-
yeah, but getting another primogen involved seems like a little too much.
Maybe.
So
I'm just trying not to make stupid decisions. Please allow me
No,
that.
no.
It's like I'm
Okay,
trying real hard.
no. The expectation of competency. So yes, Vegas is primogen. However, he is your sire. He will want to know if you're trying to not like if you're trying to investigate. He's still Vegas. He just also has another job that isn't being daddy and pimp to New Orleans and Siren.
Then I will text Vegas and say, "Hey, can you pick me up around midnight? We gotta go pick up a couple of friends."
I mean, okay, so where are you trying to take these two guys to? Because they can come here.
I just
You
want
can
them to.
have
No, I don't want to bring them in anywhere. I want to talk in the privacy of a car that I know Vegas is fucking checked.
Okay.
I
Are
don't
you
want to
trying to-
talk about this out anywhere else where we could possibly be being watched.
Are you bringing the coterie?
I don't think I have to. Like this isn't me trying to keep them out. This is me being like, "Hey, we all have shit to go do. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get it done. I'm gonna quickly grill these men really fast.
Yeah.
Please and thank you."
Okay.
Like that's not me
For
trying
sure.
to keep them out of the conversation at all. Not even a little. Genuinely
You're
just
good.
be like, "Let's divide and conquer. You guys don't have to be in this conversation. It's all good."
So
Can I come with you because I make Vegas uncomfortable and I think
Do you
want
want to sit in a crowded small car with us? And all these giant men?
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
it would be
Never mind.
Yeah.
it would be Hammy, Vegas,
And exactly.
Siren,
And
two
two
other guys.
ghouls who are the same size as them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I didn't think so.
I think it's funny that I make Vegas uncomfortable sometimes, but not that funny.
Vegas is going to ask you, who do we need to pick up? Why?
Details when
You
I'm in
know-
the car.
Okay. Okay. So Siren is going to be off camera for a minute. What are you guys up to?
Would it, as a sidebar?
Yeah.
Is this me like? Would it make sense for our characters to have multiple phones, especially at this point with how fucked up shit? You're muted.
With everything that happened to Addison, you specifically, and probably okay. So here's the thing: you would all have reasons to have other phones. I would say aside from Jem. Okay, because Jem doesn't think that way. Jem doesn't think of like I'm trying to cover up my shit. Because Jem just goes, I'm not gonna get involved with that shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be the one of us who lives the whole game.
Oh no,
Probably.
accurate.
The rest
But,
of
like,
us will die.
because
Probably.
The only reason why I ask is because
Jem
like,
texts
I
y'all. That's
fair, but I also don't want it to seem like, oh, well, it's now been mentioned that blah blah blah. That now I'm like, ooh, we have extra phones.
expectation competency. The
Yeah.
moment that Addison fucked up and started giving his contact information out, the moment that the Second Inquisition came up, you guys probably were like, hey, look, let's get some other shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Siren,
actually
the moment-
fine with Jace being like, "By the way, I've prepared for this. Here's this bag of burners," and we're like,
Yeah.
"All right, lit." Like,
So Siren with Eddie showing up and like being able to call you and track you and shit, and Kitty with you just being essentially a runaway, like, don't find me person. you would all know that technology is bad.
Yeah.
Jem
'Cause
just
I-
doesn't talk about shit on the phone. Jem
Also
talks
true.
to Lucy and you all, and some
Yeah.
occasionally the prince who texts from an unknown number.
And the
Yeah.
ghost.
Ooh.
Yeah, but she's not
Because-
texting Whiskey Lou.
She
Give
might
it
be, we
time.
don't
She'll
know.
What
figure
if I
out a
could?
way.
I would if I.
But also, like, I didn't want it to be one of those things where we're like, oh, we gave up our phones and this crucial information, and now Matthew has decided that we have extra phones. You know what I mean? But
Siren's got extra dots in resources. I don't know if
Yeah.
you do, Jace.
I think I have one. No, I have two because I have
Two?
my own apartment.
Okay, you can have procured burner devices. These are not iPhones, and if they are, they're like iPhone 7s. These are very like
Yeah.
functional, not playtime phones.
Sure.
But if you want everybody to have a burner phone, you can do that. You won't be able to really
Okay.
buy anything else the rest of the month, but the fuck do you guys really have to buy? You're self-sustaining for a lot of reasons.
Yeah. Then yeah, I just, especially for these conversations, like these sort of conversations is something that I think that would, especially knowing things that have happened recently and also what we just got out of and what we're concerned with, at least maybe these conversations can happen.
Yeah.
On
So when
those burner
Jace comes out
phones.
and says, "Hey, we should get new phones," he literally goes from his bedroom up, or his storage room essentially, and says, "Hey, we need new burner phones because we just gave Rebecca Chase all of our technology."
This is when it's revealed that all of us have secret go bags. That like nobody else. We all have very different ideas of what is essential in the apocalypse crisis for vampires, and all of us have very different burner bags. Like,
Well, and that's the thing is like, so you guys have these
Nothing in
dots.
mine. It's just
These
get up
dots
and go.
were. It's kind of like blades in the dark. You guys have all these dots and resources to have done things, not just to do things in the future.
I spent all mine in armory.
I mean, I also have a dot in technology, so it makes
Yeah.
sense that some of my resources would be for like things like burner phones, a laptop, shit like that.
But Kitty, like, yeah, you have the armory, but just in case you ever need weapons, we're just going to assume that you have the weapons that you need. So it's a constantly
if we ever need
running.
a shotgun, I have a shotgun. It's there.
what if?
So
Like,
okay,
Yeah,
so
sorry. That's
so what
on
is
me right
everybody at the bar crew doing? I will say that everybody has each other's burner phone numbers, but those are
Yes.
the only numbers that are on those phones, unless you guys start texting people that aren't on the phone. So you definitely now have private communication with the coterie, but no one else.
I think Kitty would just go try to get something to eat because she was exposed to blood earlier. She's a little blood crazy as a person.
Yeah.
She probably goes just find something to eat and then goes to bed. To be honest, there's like nothing else for her to do.
Okay. Does anybody else go hunting with Kitty? Okay.
I'm gonna hang out with Jem if she's down to hang out. Just to hang out as people, not even really to be like, let's keep playing it.
Yeah. So the camera fades over to Siren, Vegas, and Hamilton in the car. And Hammy's driving. Vegas is in the front seat. And Vegas opens the door for you to get in the back, and climbs back in himself and goes, "Okay, so what is all this about?"
been following some leads on Addison, among other things.
Okay,
And,
so where are we going to go pick up?
I gave him the names of the two ghouls.
Tyler and Chad.
Yeah, that feels right.
Tyler and Chad.
There's I think some other people are recruiting from our same pool, the inquisitive types, and I'd really like to keep an eye on that. But
Okay.
these two, at least, I know are absolutely working at this or volunteering at this shelter that we think has been set up by the church.
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on your parade, but there's a lot of church-ran help the poor and struggling.
This one seems a little more specific, a little more targeted.
Okay.
And at the very least, if it's nothing, we'll know and we can start narrowing them down. But this one came to us from two different sources.
Okay, so interrogation of...
Not necessarily interrogation, they're ghouls. It's more, I wanted to bring you in because I'm not sure how much I can ask them to keep an eye on. without possibly outing themselves or us. But if someone's running this thing that's connected to the Second Inquisition at all, I'd like to be able to have someone in place who's already there to keep an eye on things.
Okay. Can I offer a suggestion?
Always.
Let's do one tonight.
All right.
One we'll do tomorrow night. Or I heard you guys are having a party.
Invited to. It's not ours.
From what I understand from Candide, it's almost in honor of the new hounds and the association of breathing new unlife into New Orleans.
Yeah, but we didn't throw it, so I can be a little bit late.
Yeah. We need you to, not you, but the coterie to have a sit down, very quiet sit down with Candide.
All of us? Or do you want to talk to
Yes.
her tonight?
No, we don't. It's not just you. It's some little rats are getting too big for their fangs.
Mm-hmm.
It's what Candide thinks.
Well, does she didn't talk to us before or after the party?
How big of an issue is tonight?
Let's pick up Tyler and I'll text the group.
Okay.
Before as Kitty's hunting, probably.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you do pick up Tyler, and Tyler gets in the back seat.
on the burner phone, I have texted. On the new phone, I have texted the group of got another business meeting in you all tonight before bed.
Angry cat emoji.
So that's a
And a
yes.
thumbs up.
With who?
I'm gonna put a circle with a slash, like the Ghostbusters know, and then a sheriff badge.
I was like, just put bits of candy.
I wouldn't think of that. I would think
Put
of
that
opera
sheriff-
first.
Yes,
would've thought
also
that
put a
too.
clown.
I'll do all those. I was gonna say not
This is
the
safe
sheriff,
You put a clown, I'm thinking the prince.
the not
Okay.
sheriff.
I know.
Like,
I know, but
Um,
because of opera.
Yeah.
So who wants to go to a meeting with Candide?
If we want to do it tonight, fuck it. Why not?
Okay.
yeah.
So you relay
But
that
also
information.
have this conversation with Tyler.
I
You-
will go newly fed.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you guys need to rest up, go for it. So you relay that information to Vegas, and while he's texting, you hear like, he kind of, he doesn't look at you, but he talks to you while he's looking at the phone. He goes, "So, if you want to have this meeting, with just you and Candide, that's fine. If you want to have it with the coterie, that's fine too. We
I
feel
can
like
have.
we owe her
I can
a
have
little
this.
bit.
I can have this meeting with just me. The other meeting, I would not feel good not bringing the coterie into. I just wouldn't. Tristan, because we can't talk about vampires on our phones.
Yeah.
So we have to use emojis to be subtle. We talked about
Yeah,
it since
so-
episode 1. Like,
The Second Inquisition, just
Also,
like
we're hip.
yeah.
yeah, we're cool, bro. So it's a great way to say like, hey, if I send 2 eyes, I'm talking about the Second Inquisition or 2 eye. So the Catholic Church doesn't go, why do they know the word Second Inquisition?
Exactly.
Let's
Also-
find these people and kill them. What do you mean Ventru, Tremere, Toreador, Malkavian, Bruja?
That's why we do the
Also,
roses
kill
for the
them.
the
To be
Toreador.
fair,
Like, yeah.
I think it was also that we said it as a joke in like
Oh, it just
episode
stuck.
2.
And then it became-
ran with
yes.
the bit.
Yeah.
More
Um,
that than anything else.
So Vegas is, for you guys, if you don't know Vegas is amazing, and he's always well dressed. There's never been a time that, Pixie has seen, Siren has seen him not well dressed, but
In her head, Pixie has seen it too. It's fine.
That's also because he's just been not dressed.
Yeah,
Well
I mean-
dressed. It's been better dressed at that point.
Accurate.
in my head, he's a good looking man. All right. So, but
Oh, he is.
he he gets done texting and he puts the phone up and he goes, I was going to have you relay information to Candide. Or sorry, to the coterie from Candide.
But is she giving it to us in person, or?
He kind of nods and he goes, and you realize that he was very quick to Le Save to pick you up, like very quick.
Vegas, what's going on?
So Primogen to Hounds. Amy, we're gonna have to have this conversation. He goes, yeah, I'm good with that. I'm 100% okay with you not talking about your silly shit around me to get me killed.
Love you, Hammy.
And he pulls up to the not the VFW, but one of the apartments nearby. And you know this is where some of the guys it's cheaper housing. They give a military discount. Please, everybody do that. And Tyler's already waiting outside. Vegas does not open the door for him. Tyler gets in, sits next to you. He goes, hey, so what are we getting into tonight? He goes, and Vegas, like, before you can answer, he goes, taking you to the club. She needs a little bit more backup tonight, so we're going to go to the club. But I kind of want to talk to you about some stuff on the way. And he goes, he looks from, like, to you to Vegas and goes, oh, okay. And he goes, Siren, go ahead and text the crew to meet us at the club. It's time for us to have a good night out, really.
His club or our club? His club?
His club. Like,
That's
yours
what
is a
yeah.
bar.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure. I give them the, moon. Like, whatever we use for Lamia. But, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely, like, you can even put, like, you can even tag the location. It's fine.
I just send them a map ping. Everyone knows where that club is. It's not subtle. Like,
so very quickly.
Cat emoji.
Siren has invited you to a night clubbing. Do you accept?
He makes a Google event.
Yes.
He invites us all.
When I'm not subtle, I'm not fucking subtle. She puts it on Facebook.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Fangbook.
It's a Facebook
Fangbook.
group. It's a private group that we
just for vampires. It's a special website.
Yeah.
Then Megan was so mad she disappeared. She was like, "Fuck you." Can I just say the fact that your eye glitter came back into focus before anything else was spectacular.
Legit.
That was some Hollywood old school film shit.
Thank you. It's from a drag.
It was beautiful.
So about the same time as that they went to go pick up Tyler, and you guys, now I'm assuming, Kitty, you're taking your bike? Okay, so Kitty's gonna bike it. Jem and Jace, you guys probably take a Luber or a Ooft.
Yeah. No, we always, if it's just me and Jace, we always take an Ooft.
Yeah. An Ooft.
Or if it's close by and we don't feel like walking, we'll get those we'll get the motorized scooters.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Scooters, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. We're doing our part to keep New Orleans green.
And
we'll get a youth, don't worry.
And as you guys are all traveling throughout the city,
a car.
No, I refuse.
Siren, I'm not going to have you roll this because you're dealing with too much stuff going on. Kitty, you're not going to roll it because you're on your bike. You're more concerned with other things. Jace,
Driving.
Like not running into everyone. Yeah. Jason, Jem, make me a wits awareness as you're driving throughout the city. Or scootering throughout the city. Depends. It's up to you.
I'm gonna
Luck
just
dice,
because
luck dice.
I never know what rolls are important and what rolls are
That's
not.
why we use luck for everything.
I'm gonna steal 2 of them to make us down to an even 60.
Make that a 55. I'm taking 5 because it was a crit success and a crit fail, and damn it all.
No.
Yeah, tonight. Okay.
So, Jace, what are we looking at?
Of course, I muted myself whenever I told you it was 7 successes.
Oh, okay.
4.
Jace is
4. Okay.
Jace is nothing if not a perception and an occult machine.
Very much. And so, as you guys are going, you're taking your oofed. You can actually just kind of like, oh, I'm not driving. You kind of focus, and it does help you guys out. You're driving a couple blocks throughout the city because Lamia is not anywhere close, or Lamia is nowhere close to Lissav. I'm always going to say Lamia.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Sounds more French.
you're kind of just like, resting against the window and looking out, and you're looking, and that's how Jem rests against the windows. Hi.
She has her head out like in Hereditary.
Yeah.
No, that's how you die.
With everything going on tonight and all the discussions that have been had, you start to notice things that you probably wouldn't have. And you do start to see people walking throughout the city. You only see it like twice, but people giving out like little brown paper bags and little pamphlets. And then you drive down the city a little bit more, and you see you see like an older homeless guy, and he's got one of those signs, like the end is nigh. But it's one of those, like he wears it, like there's a sign on the front and the back. And what you get is they live among us. And you guys just kind of drive throughout the city. And we get to Lamia. And there's a, when you guys park, you all get dropped off, and you see the Explorer, sorry, the Escalade. Sorry, I forget who has the Explorer, which has the Escalade.
And none of us know the difference, so it's fine. Like, it's a car.
$15 to $25,000.
I just know that Escalades are more expensive.
So, Kitty, you kind of pull up, park next to the Escalade that you all kind of realize is Vegas is. It's in the parking area, not just like the parking lot across the street. Jem and Jace, you guys assume that, okay, well, Kitty knows where she's going. Let's fucking go over there. I want Kitty, Jace, and Jem to roll another wits awareness as you guys are walking up. Sign your finder in the car.
3 successes.
Okay. But as Jace and Jem and Kitty kind of walk up.
4 successes.
3. Okay. You all miss. There's a couple homeless people that are just kind of like walking. Not homeless, but like they're not here to drink. They're here to either rob, scam, or beg for money. Right. This is still New Orleans. And you guys kind of shuffle around. You guys don't step on anybody. You don't walk into anybody. You just kind of like, hey, locals. Siren, you and Hammy and Vegas and Tyler arrive. And Hamilton goes, boss, do you want me to wait here? Do you want me to go inside? And Vegas goes, let's have you go inside. We're gonna go to the back. And I didn't want to talk to Tyler, but I'm gonna need all these fucking other, random assholes to hear this shit. And Tyler goes, yeah, I don't know what they would do with that information. He goes, right. Glad I got you, Tyler. I'm glad she's got you in her corner. Like, because if you take care of her, then I'm going to take care of you. So let's do that. And Tyler goes, yeah. I mean, she doesn't call. Nothing against it. Like, if you don't need me, that's fine. But like, I do what I can for her. I do what I can for the city. He goes, yeah. That's what I would expect out of somebody that she chooses.
My favorite thing is that Pixie went swoon, and I just went, that's a little controlling.
Literally, I went, oh, he's killing him. Okay, cool.
I'm terrified.
I fucking love this. Are you kidding me?
So So you guys get out. Vegas actually opens the door on Tyler's side because Tyler entered in from the roadside and kind of scooted over, or the sidewalk side. So he opens the door. Tyler gets out. He kind of like pats him on the chest, and he holds out his hand for you and gets you out of the car. And Hamilton kind of sits out the back. He goes, "Oh, okay, so everybody's here. I like it. I like it." And he nods past you guys. Just kind of nods. When you guys, it's kind of like, who the fuck? You don't really see who we could be talking to. Like, there's people there, but you don't like, okay. And you guys.
Can I activate Sense of the Beast so I can?
Yeah, if you would like to, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. The one person who's kind of like sitting on the curb, big kindred energy, big kindred energy.
I don't like look at him directly. I'm just kind of like a passion, like
it's a woman. You guys walk right by her. It's just big vampire energy.
Cool.
And she actually kind of like stands up, and as you guys walk in, she follows right behind you. And Hamilton actually like, "Hey, ma'am," and she goes, "Hammy, if you'd like to keep that fucking arm, get it out of my fucking face." And he goes,
"Oh, so Candide's here."
"Yes, ma'am. Friend of yours, Vegas?" Yeah. You would know her when she's smiling. "Oh, ma'am. Yes. Let me get the door for you guys." And he kind of walks past you guys and actually opens the door for you all to come in. Yeah, Candide does not walk around the city as a nos. As surprised, right? And you guys kind of make your way through the club. Now this is a strip club. It's almost showing no damage of what it was before, but it's also not showing any of the shithole nature that it was before. The last time that our coterie was here, with the exception of Kitty, everyone picked a sex trafficker and ate them. So
it was the best night of our lives.
I miss all the fun, guys. We need to find more sex traffickers so I can kill them.
Oh, there's always enough to go around.
Wonderful.
So you guys walk through the crowd, and Vegas kind of like waves, and a couple of people are like, "Hey, oh shit, let's go." Like, kind of like mob boss energy, but in a better way. Like they like this guy, And you guys quickly walk behind the stage, and one of the strippers, one of the dancers, she's coming down off the pole and going low, and she kind of sticks her ass out, and Vegas kind of smacks it, and she goes back up on the pole, and they kind of walk on by, and they go behind the stage, and there's a very similar area to kind of what you guys have in LaSalle. Just kind of like an office space of like, hey, we can't have a basement, so like we're just gonna stick office rooms wherever we can stick them. And so he goes, "All right, cool." And you hear the music, and it's strip club music. It thump 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 thump. Like it's strip club music. This is not chill out, hang out vibes. This is like, let's pump all the blood to all the places in the body and get money out of it.
Dem is looking to see if they have a jukebox app so that she can hijack it. She's gonna keep the vibe the same. She just wants to like.
There is a jukebox app, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, apps. Okay, you're getting a gem curated strip mix.
Yeah.
Which she already had on her phone, I feel like.
Yeah.
This is not, she's not making this for here. She already has this shit.
I need this playlist on
She
my
has a
desk by
playlist
Monday morning.
Playlist for when she wants to be sad, a playlist for sunshiny days, in theory, a strip club one.
Yeah.
Driving in Tucson, in theory. Yeah.
In theory.
And so it's an office area. It's like a little boardroom office area. It's not something you would expect to see in a strip club back office. You very well could have just walked into like a Ventru board meeting room. There's a large round table with multiple chairs around it, and they're all wooden chairs. They're not like shitty little office chairs. They're like my shitty little gamer chair. And he kind of like pulls the seat out, taps it. Tyler sits down, And mentions for you all guys, all you all to sit down, and he pulls a seat out for Candide next to Tyler, and you guys can all sit. Now, so Tyler and Candide have already sat down, kind of next to each other. Where does everybody else sit?
I fucking stand.
The siren power struggle.
Candide.
Okay.
It's powerful.
The song fades. The next one to pick up it fits the vibe, but it's different in a different way.
Kitty is also standing, but it's not like any type of power struggle or like nervousness. It's just you put me in a very loud environment, and I'm very excited.
It is quieter
about
back
it.
here. It is quieter back here.
Yep.
It's where you guys can have discussions, but you know that nobody else is going to hear shit.
That's fair. Her blood is like she's excited. She's happy. So she's like a very like if a cat got the zoomies. That's what's happening right now.
But we're making her sit still, so
But I'm being nice. I'm not moving.
We are gonna have to take you to the ancient site and let you run after this, aren't we?
Yeah. Iris, I need to use your forest room, please.
Can I book a session? Can I please book a
session?
Jason's gonna sit to where there are like how large is the table? Like is it like a 10 or 12 person table, or is it like a 5 or 6? Oh, you're muted.
It's like a hey beautiful. It's like a 10-man oval table.
I'm gonna leave.
Okay,
I'm gonna leave 4 spaces between Tyler and myself, so that I'm sort of across from Candide, and I have plenty of space to not sit directly next to Vegas whenever he wants to sit next to Tyler to threaten him.
Okay. Oh, you guys are like, Tyler's gonna die. So
not as long as he takes care of me, then he'll be fine. Yeah. That's the whole point.
So you guys sit down, and Vegas, he sits like 2 seats to the left of Tyler. Like he leaves a seat and then he sits down. And he goes, okay, so first off, Siren, let's start off with you.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you want to talk to Tyler, and I wanted to buy him some drinks and have a good time. So, Tyler?
Again, she's not sure what she's allowed to ask without getting this man killed. That's why she brought Vegas into the conversation.
Fair.
So, she told Vegas.
I mean, the only real difference is like Candide's there now.
Yeah. We have reason to believe that whatever good this new shelter is doing, they may also be run by some very bad people. I know you know that
The church? Look, I know you're... And he looks around like,
yeah, pick your next words really carefully.
Well, I don't know. I know you guys have your own words, and the rest
Tyler.
of us have...
Tyler.
Yeah.
There's church. And then there's church.
You mean like
with
super...
a capital C.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of money, but I mean, they seem to be doing good things.
They can do good things all goddamn day. However, there's a possibility that one of these shelters, might be yours, might be another one, but yours seems most likely, this one seems most likely right now, is doing some very bad things behind the scenes.
Okay. The only thing that they've asked us to do besides do the shelter is like, hey, they give us some job opportunities to run some security.
Where?
They've throughout like concert events, mostly some of the Christian concert events here in the city. Hold on a second. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. The weirdest thing is like okay, so I didn't, because with previous engagements I couldn't really attend. He turns to Vegas like, because we're on call. Yeah. He goes, so we do, like, some of us have like special forces experience and stuff, and like just doing so there's a women's shelter that they open up as well, and we kind of track down like people who may have, I'm just gonna say it, like if a dude beats the shit out of a woman, we find them and help them turn into law enforcement and stuff like that. Like we just find out who people are. And the moment that he says that, Vegas, Hamilton reaches over and immediately handcuffs the guy to the desk.
I
to
love
the-
Hamilton
to the chair.
so much.
Like quick
Just
enough.
Megan, real quick,
Yeah.
because my computer started doing the jerky thing again audioly. I want to make sure I heard what I just heard. That he finds women, or if he finds guys that hit their wives and then makes them cops.
No,
Turns them
over to the
in,
police.
like not
Turns them
into.
over.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I
I was like,
also, for a
I
second,
will put my
understood
phone down.
turns them into cops, and I was like,
Sorry, no,
what?
turns them over to the cops.
I was like,
That turns them over into cops. Turns them over to
curating a
the
list.
cops.
and I will enjoy the show. Okay, then why are we handcuffing him to the chair?
So before you can say that,
This is me, Megan, asking.
oh,
Because he's finding people. It's
so
the biggest thing, I think.
Oh.
Hamilton reaches over there and just like behind him, like click, click. All you guys hear is, and there is handcuffs to his wrist to the chair, like 2 sets of handcuffs. And at the time that he realizes that Hamilton is behind him, because these are ghouls, so they still move faster than human beings. However, Hamilton has been a ghoul a lot longer. He looks down, goes, "What the fuck?" And then when he turns to look, Vegas reaches over there and continues that motion.
Some
Snaps
instincts.
his neck and smacks his head on the desk.
Some instincts were right?
Well, I have no idea.
Hmm.
But there's no fucking chance I'm gonna let Second Inquisition or the church walk around my fucking city trying to investigate people. It's none of their goddamn business who anybody fucking is. So sorry, you lost a ghoul.
It's all right.
And you said you had 2 of these guys?
Yeah.
Okay. And he pulls out his phone. He goes, "Who's the other guy?"
If they both just disappear and they're all associated with us, wouldn't that be suspicious?
How are they associated with you? I trained you better than that.
We're not sure who knows what anymore. I'm just trying to be careful. Because you did train me.
Okay, who is the other guy?
Chad. Number 7.
And Hamilton like sits down and he goes, "Are you serious?"
Why?
No, he's just a fucking bleeding heart. Look, Vegas, I don't think this. He goes, 12 hours. You have 12 hours. Go. And Hamilton turns and walks out the room. So, Candide. And Vegas just immediately changes the subject.
Jace, under the table, is going to, on his burner phone, text Siren's burner phone and say, maybe we get some more information before he croaks.
I think that's what Hammy is doing.
No, absolutely, but
she texts him that back.
Matthew and Jace are worried that instead it is going to be a this thing again.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, maybe a elite kill before information.
No,
is acquired.
I think that's why he gave Hammy 12 hours instead of
for sure.
just going to get him.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
Jace and Matthew needed it be said. So he
And
has texted that,
Siren has agreed that that she thinks that's what Hammy is doing, but she's gonna try and catch up with Hammy after all of this is over.
So, Candide like kind of looks over to the obviously dead, cracked neck, head bounced off the fucking table body, and goes, "Okay, so you all know of Grin's progeny. I know you guys met with them the other day. I know you guys are going to have. I was actually invited too. This is kind enough of them to have your music that you picked out played off for the St. Louis #2. And she sees you do that. She's like, you did nothing wrong. Just
Yeah, that's what everybody says. But we're in an office and a man just got his neck broke. Every time we meet with the Primogen, y'all talk to me just like my parents and principal used to do after they caught me smoking in the boys' room.
I don't care if you smoke in any room that you would like to. Just don't light an open flame near me. The question is, what have they done for you all?
For us all, nothing.
Okay. They've been making a lot of deals lately. And I'm only getting a few. So you all know that you don't have to tell your Primogen all the deals that you make. But with clan before sect is the Nosferatu rule. It's our way. We all share information as much as possible. So things that I think might be happening don't. Everybody's still vying for their place in society, whether it be Camarilla as a whole or Nosferatu in general. I think they're trying to take the city. And not exactly from the prince. Not just from me. But when Grin was lost to us, they thought that they should be the next in line. That's not how this works. They had nothing to offer the city other than being strong and possibly too smart for their own good. So what I'm asking you, knowing that this is going outside the clan, is to keep your ears open and your eyes wide. And if there's anything that seems suspicious, that you let me know. You can do it through the prince. You can do it through your Primogen. You can do it through your sire. She looks at you, Jace. Anything that you need to do. If you don't feel comfortable talking to me about it and want to double check, I completely understand. Do every moment of every night that I'm awake is double check and double check.
Can I talk to you in private?
She looks at Vegas. She looks to you. Yes, of course. And Vegas goes, champagne
Turn
room.
off real quick, everybody.
Champagne room. And she goes, okay. And when you walk out, like the club is still bumping. And to an outsider looking at the situation, it looks like Jem might be the dancer compared to this very bland looking, black lady. It's like, obviously that lady is getting the dance. Jem she's hot, but she doesn't look like a stripper. She ain't even dressed tonight. Okay. Because you're not dressed like a stripper. Like Jem is hot,
No.
but you're not dressed like a stripper.
No.
You guys go over to the champagne room and she
Just
opens it
as
up and it's like
Chris
it's empty.
Rock's No Sex starts playing.
No sex in the champagne room.
Champagne room. That's right. No matter what a stripper tells you, there's no sex in the champagne room.
You guys pulled
None.
open. There's no dancer inside. You guys, she sits on the table. Hello, baby. She sits on the table and you sit on the couch. What do you have to talk to her about?
Okay. So they didn't make a deal with the coterie. Eagle made a deal with me
Okay.
for information on Addison's phone. He
Okay.
gave me 3 locations that the cell phone had been pinging from. Not none of which. One of the locations doesn't match up with the information that Rebecca Chase's security detail has.
Okay. So that bitch knows far too much That bitch should have been a Nosferatu. Can I say that? Like, yeah, she's pretty and all, but I should have just
Good.
somebody should have snatched her fucking face right off her skull and made her a Nosferatu.
Good. Also, whenever I came by to see you, some of the custodians at Louis One told me not to bother you. So did the Smirks. They said that if I had an issue, I didn't always have to go to the Primogen. I could go to them.
Okay.
And
Well, that might be true.
And what was Hancock?
What do you mean? To me or to Candide?
No, not to to you. Sway, like walk me through your NPC creation process real quick. No, to Candide.
Malkavian decided he was going to try to take over New Orleans.
He wasn't a hound?
He never worked for me. And to the best of my knowledge, he never really worked for Camille. It was more along the
have
line.
his own hounds?
It's not usually how it works. The prince will appoint a sheriff. The sheriff will nominate hounds. The prince will sign off on the hounds. However, with Hancock, it certainly seemed like I was always in competition for knowledge and bribes and finding out what I needed to find out to protect the city to someone who wanted to find out what he needed to find out to run the city.
So when Ego told me that Hancock was Dad's hound, he wasn't really that far off.
Hancock was his own hound. And some of that information obviously would have went to the prince. But I personally don't believe that Hancock ever gave information out that he wanted, that he didn't. If he had information that he could have controlled and used for his own gain, he would have. But if he needed the prince's motivation and power behind it, he would have given it to the prince. And he was good. There was information that I don't know how he did it, but he found out maybe hours before I could turn anything up.
Oh, hey,
Sorry,
here's my new
I
phone
froze.
number, by the way.
And she gets it. So basically, you get the impression that because I was talking and I was froze. The only information, like Hancock got information that Candide got, but like hours before or a day before, that it was borderline like this had to be some Malkavian shit for him to get it in his own way without using the same resources that she got it. And some of it went to the prince, and then who knows how much information didn't go to the prince.
Right.
So you get the impression that the prince was using the resources that he had available to better the city, and Hancock was a part of that sometimes.
Fair. Did I mess up?
No, you're going to make deals. I personally would love for you to make deals with me more often, but
That's what I wanted, but they told me that you were busy and that I shouldn't go see you. And then they said that they were Grins and that Grin really liked me, and I thought that would be nice.
He did. The custodians are, as far as I understand, mine. I didn't want to trust Kine as much as Grin did. That might be a weakness on my own part. But the custodians will try to save me time and hassle, especially if I'm working on something. St. Louis number 2, though, might be an issue. The custodians, as far as I know, are still loyal to me. but it seems like they're trying to gain loyalty, being the progeny of a former primogen. You have to understand that. Go ahead.
Ego asked if he found Addison and it turned out that they had been keeping him, if he wants a meeting with Rebecca Chase. And he asked if I found out that they had been keeping him, if I'd still make the meeting.
Why would you think that they would want a meeting with a Ventru primogen?
Run the world, Rebecca Chase. Ooh, that's a good one. She puts that on.
Now, the Ventru and the Nosferatu have a decent working relationship together, and I would like to say that I have been more than forthcoming with information about Mr. Addison Claiborne. My question is, why would they want a meeting with her? Was it only a meeting with her?
Mm-hmm.
And they asked you if they had Addison, would you still provide that meeting?
It was just ego. It was listening to Smashing Pumpkins. And yes, it was really creepy. He also said if he was somewhere, like if the Tremere had him or
so
anyone else.
He was posing a hypothesis to say, no matter who had them, would you still provide the meeting, even if it was with him? That's okay. Tomorrow night, enjoy yourself. Have a great time.
You gonna go?
Oh, of course. Can't not show it to my own clan's party. Go have a great time. This conversation never happened.
No, because I can't see the primogen.
You have a personal invitation.
You know what I mean?
If the custodians tell you no.
No, I can't meet with you. That's why this conversation never happened.
Damn, Candide, be cool.
In the future, if you were to go to St. Louis #1 requesting my presence, request my presence.
And if you need anything,
they cannot
ask.
deny you without my denial. And I have your phone number now, so
I know. Even if you're just bored and want to talk. I know.
Interesting.
One day.
One day I would like to be bored, yes.
Can we talk about how fascinating everyone finds Jem because her default is, should want to chat, and they're all like, what? Like, every single one of them.
That relationship still exists?
I love it.
Eventually, I will wind them down. You will talk to me, motherfucker.
I know.
No,
Siren has that with, like, 2 people in town. Jem has it with everybody, and she's in awe of that.
The Nosferatu being like, no one wants to talk to us, no one wants to be around us, and this coterie is like, we're gonna love every Nosferatu.
You're gonna take our
We're gonna be
fucking love,
best
you
friends.
bat-looking motherfucker.
The only reason we don't live in with you is because Kitty physically cannot go in the mausoleums. That's the only reason. It's the only reason we aren't just kangaroo pouching into their stupid asses.
And so Candide, like I said, she's sitting on the table, and she kind of like Rose from Titanic lays down on the table, like her arm up.
Or like a French girl.
Yes. Let me ask you a question.
What day?
I know I don't want to come off as ego might have and be creepy. And she lets her form completely drop to Nosferatu, which is the exact opposite of not trying to seem creepy.
She can't help it. She does have. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Man bat just appeared in your face. And she sees your reaction and kind of just grins. Let me ask you a similar question to what they did. let's say you've been lied to. Let's say they have Addison. Let's say they're vying for my spot. Let's say they wish ill will to the Prince of New Orleans. How would you feel if I killed them, made them meet the sun?
Well, I'd be a little sad because it's hard to get people that like smashing pumpkins anymore. But if they heard Addison, I'm just one in a long line of people in New Orleans that will help you put them in the fucking ground.
She smiles and she sits up and she starts to walk away. And as her hands grabs the curtain to pull it back, her form shifts back into her nonchalant form. He goes back to the meeting room. Now, you all that are still in the boardroom, not much has happened. Vegas is texting. Siren and Jace have shared a couple texts. Kitty, what are you doing? What is this like mindset that Kitty is in? Kitty's just sitting on the table staring at the dead man. You're muted.
That's the title of this episode is "Oh, You're Muted."
That's a
just
joke,
really
Tristan.
bored.
It's a joke.
She's so bored. She's so bored. And then she thinks of something. She kind of walks over to Jace and kind of leans down and says, "Hey,
What?
after all this, like, and we're done, like, this meeting stuff, can I talk to you? Is that okay?"
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And she goes back to pacing because she's bored.
Okay. So Candide comes back in the room. Jem, do you follow, or are you kind of just chill in the champagne room?
Oh no, she's gonna go. She's gonna sit at the bar, watch
Yeah.
their bartenders, see how they do it, and just
Take notes.
Put coins in the.
The
Oh no,
jukebox?
she's taking notes to like give to Vegas. Like, this is how to do it, right?
Also, as a note, Jace texts Iris. I need to check on some things with you. Maybe tomorrow.
From your regular number or your burner phone?
From my burner phone.
Okay.
And he'll sign it dash.
You'll get
J.
the whole like, who the fuck is this? It's
He'll-
me.
no,
Who the fuck
he'll-
is
he'll
me?
put-
It's me.
He'll put
Yeah.
the little gender neutral witch
Yeah.
emoji. He'll sign it with that.
Yeah. So she knows who it is, and she
Yep,
goes, okay.
Yep.
So Candide comes back in. She goes, I hope you all has come to the party tomorrow night. Hopefully whatever this is pans out to something good. I don't know how you're going to get all of this out of your club, but I'm assuming you do. Have fun.
We can't have Bernie.
That's a him problem, not an us problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem we've dealt with before. Kind of.
And also, all on Vegas. His place,
she
he's
goes-
got to deal with it.
She goes, if I'm not mistaken, you dealt with that from this club. You
Also
all have a
true.
good night. And she turns and like walks out. And Vegas just kind of like, all right, deuces. And Vegas looks and goes, if you need a new ghoul, I'll get you a new ghoul.
I can get my own goals.
Cool. Cool.
I'm bad with people. I should really get a people rule.
Do me a favor. And he looks directly at Siren. However you need to. Cut down your ghouls to those that you know the ins and outs of their daily lives. Have Hamilton do it.
Yeah.
Also, find yourself a Hamilton. You don't want my Hamilton, do you? He is.
Her name is Yo-Yo, and she's beautiful and smells like sunshine.
I'll work on it.
He's the one that I know like you get away with it, he would be Kindred.
Yeah, I know.
You need to find somebody like that. This schmuck isn't fucking one of them. You need to find somebody that doesn't have a bleeding heart. You need to find somebody that cares enough about Kine, but doesn't put your life in front of theirs. Find somebody who doesn't really believe in God.
Do you need help cleaning up?
Oh, no, this is good.
Great. And she leaves.
Well, unless
Bye,
unless you guys want some drinks, I think that's it for the night.
As they're walking out, Jace is gonna be next to Kitty, and he's just gonna lean over. Man, he's an asshole.
God,
Just audible
right?
enough, just because Jace will forever hold a grudge.
Do you look back to see if he's looking?
No, I do not.
Okay, he's
because
looking.
That's
He's
even
gonna-
more of
Kitty
the power
does.
move.
Kitty does this.
you see Vegas with like a big like I'm gonna fuck that dude up one day.
Around these parts, we call that the Chase special. Yeah.
You talk when you're spoken to.
The line of people lining up to bitch slap Addison when we get him is now only slightly longer than the people who would like to bitch slap Jace.
No, it's a circle.
It's
It's not a Venn diagram. It's a circle.
It's the same
I
people.
feel
And it's
like-
like, which one first?
I have to slap Addison on principle now. Like,
Accurate.
hi, it's so nice meeting you. Bam, I'm so sorry.
Accurate.
But that is where we're gonna leave off.
Oh, and I want to talk to Jason about something.
Oh
real quick.
yeah, go for it. We'll
Real
do it.
quick.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to get back to the bar for this
Yeah.
conversation. Cool.
And we zoomed all back. I don't know if the siren goes, but we zoom all back.
So she kind of pulls the sign. She goes, so I've been hearing a lot like of you like warding things. I'm not like 100% what that is. But it's like keeping people away, right?
Kind of.
Okay.
It depends on. So there are a couple of different things you can do, and he'll like go into a little bit of like
Okay.
maybe too in depth.
No, she
on,
like
like-
100% like pays attention
Yeah.
like, avidly to what you're
And-
saying.
And he's like, yeah, you can. So there are different levels of things that you can do. Some of them you can do where if somebody touches something and it's kind of a small area, that it just kind of hurts them, or you can do another thing where they can't walk through it, or you can do another thing where they can walk through it a little bit, but then they're trapped inside of it and they can't leave the thing.
Okay.
But it only
Can-
works against certain types of people.
Can you do it against one person?
It depends on what type of person they are. If you get my, is it like I can? It also
You're in
depends
the
on
VIP area. You can talk freely.
Cool.
Yeah. It also it depends on your power, how well versed you are in blood magic. My level of learning right now is limited to ghouls. I can either harm them or I can trap them or keep them
Okay.
out of something.
Yeah,
But-
he's not a ghoul.
Is it? And hold on, Matthew is looking. Yes. Is it a kindred or a kine or a ghost?
Kindred.
You can do that.
I
You
have.
can do it for all kindred.
You can, exactly. Yes.
You can't do it for a specific kindred.
No, but kindred. I can, if there's a specific place that you need warded against anybody and everybody, that can happen. I can talk to Iris, or if I really need to and I don't want to, I can talk to a different Tremere. As a favor, maybe.
So Kitty, you get told that he can do it for all kindred, which means that you couldn't walk into the room.
Yeah. No, I just really. I don't stay in one place for very long, and I've decided I kind of want to stay here for a little bit longer than I usually do. Because because I like you guys. but I don't want someone to find me, and I don't want him here, because this is my home now. I don't want him in my home, because he's not my home anymore.
Jace, do me a wits occult.
Got it, my dude. That I can do. Oh, yes. Can I add a specialty in blood magic, witchcraft, or abyss?
Do
know what this is
witchcraft?
Yes. And specialties are 1 die or 2 dice?
1 die.
Okay.
So be rolling 9 off the bat before you take any extra.
And how many do we have? We have 55 of them. I'll take 2. Make that 53.
Heck yeah.
Not a great roll.
No!
I'm not gonna lie to you. I rolled 11 goddamn dice.
You
and
can
I
take
got
another 3.
No, that's okay. I got a total of 4 successes. No crit failures though. Not a single one to be
it's
seen.
still 4 successes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you roll 100. If you only got 4, you still got 4.
Sure.
You don't know how to keep a specific person out.
Mhm.
But with everything you've learned recently, you might be able to hide a person.
Okay, and he'll like be in the middle of starting to talk, like starting to be like, oh, okay, well, like, how long do you wait?
You would
Okay.
need to use some of the techniques that you've discovered other people using recently.
Yeah. And that's actually like one of the things that's in his notebook that he's been like copiously taking notes about is the possibility of using of him beginning to use symbolism from other religions just because he thinks that they could work. And so he's like, yeah, in the middle of him starting to be like, oh, okay, I'm really sorry to hear that. Like, we like really like have it, blah blah blah, like trying to reassure her.
Yeah.
He'll be like, wait a second, we might be able to hide you.
That might work.
Yeah. How, if you don't mind me asking, how long do you normally stick around places before you move for fear of?
A month at most, a few weeks.
Okay. And Kitty has been here for how
For like
long?
6 months.
Oh,
She's been here
I've
for-
been
she's
here
been
for a while.
minute,
She really
yeah.
likes us,
She's been here
guys.
for a minute.
Okay, that's what I thought. You've been here pre-time.
She'd probably been here
pre-time
for a
skip.
month before she was assigned to you all.
Got it. Yeah.
When she got
Okay.
to y'all, she was made a hound. She's like, okay, I'll see where this goes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can get working on this as soon as possible. We might need to do a little bit of testing, but yeah, no, we can make sure that you're safe here. And also, if somebody comes around and you don't want them around, we'll fuck them up. We'll fuck them up real bad. So,
Okay.
then you don't gotta worry. Plus, somebody came chasing after Siren like 3 days after we got turned into kindred. We're used to this at this point.
Yeah.
People coming in from our
Don't write your
past-
name on shit.
People coming in from our past, we got this. That's kind of
except
one of our
mine's
specialties.
the one who turned me into one.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little harder.
That's a little bit more complicated, but you know what? Fuck it. We have dealt with, in the year that we've been kindred, we've dealt with more shit than most
That's
people
1
deal
year.
with
Yeah.
in a very long
You guys
time.
have only been kindred 1 year.
She's heard these stories. She thought it was like a
What?
decade.
Like a decade,
It's
yeah.
been
I've been
It's-
a kindred for 9 years. I've been
Yeah.
half of
it's
it.
been a year. It's been a year and 3 weeks. Like it's not. it's not been that long and we've had a lot of shit. So I think if anything, we got you. So you don't gotta worry about
And
it.
she's smiling because she always has like a permanent smile on her face. There's like tears
Yeah.
happening.
What?
And he's gonna like reach out to hug her. He doesn't
She'll
know
hug
if she's
you.
a hugger.
She'll hug you like
but-
real tight. She is.
Okay, good.
No one's hugged her for like 6 months.
Yeah, he'll hug her. Yeah, don't worry about it. We got you. And I'll do you mind if I ask Iris about a couple of my ideas before we go in on it, or do you want to keep
Iris
it
is
private?
nice. I don't mind.
Okay, then I'll get with
I
Iris.
have some of his hair, if that helps.
It might.
I
Who
ripped it
fucking
out of
knows?
his head. So
Yeah, who knows?
What?
It might.
Who knows? It might. So, and that is what where blah 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 where we will leave the coterie tonight. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Next week we'll start off with what happened, the events that happened with Hamilton and Chad,
oh no, Chad.
because they get daylight hours and you all do not. So as we say goodbye to the coterie for the week and they turn into their coffins and beds and hideaway offices, we're going to go ahead and say goodnight. Make sure you guys check us out on our podcast now that we have. Tristan is amazing and helps us edit all that stuff into greatness for you all to listen to. Also on YouTube. And does anybody else have anything they want to say? All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Get out.
Bye.